with a flag, a symbol, not just of a campaign, but a crusade. And here is the godfather of the crusade, Tom Pounds. 15 years they've waited for this moment, and there is pandemonium on the Palouse. Crusade becomes crescendo as Washington State welcomes in Oregon. Oh, it's a scene. I'm going to tell you, but this is not just about a flag. This is an opportunity. Pac-12 North, also possibly Rose Bowl. Could it be college football playoff? You think that's crazy? Just see last week, and if you see this seam, anything can happen. We've got rivalry games, playoff positioning, and the flag is alive, and we are here at Washington State for the first time. And I've got a question. What took us so long to get to Wazoo?
Hey.
ESPN College Gameday.
Good morning, Pullman. And we're coming to your city. Well, we rolled right through Death Valley, Boomer Sooner, Gig the Maggies, through our Longhorns up in Austin along the way. Roll Tide rolled through Alabama, hit 'em hard at the farm in Stanford, ran the hill and through War Eagle on the plains. Rock the big house in the Gator Swamp, fight through Irish and the Tomahawk Chomp. Out on USC, the Buckeyes and Georgia Dogs. Check it out, everybody, keep it locked where you got it. Game day is in your city, get your weekend started. It's an amped up college party atmosphere. Live crowd on fire, energy in the air.
With recourse all day to turkey day, college football knowledge the field they give. Get fired up the best party again.
Time to kick off, y'all. It's
College Game Day.
your city. If you want a little bang in your yeah. If you want a little sing in your sing sing. If you want a little ching in your shang shang. Come along. Yeah, we're coming to your city.
College Game Day, live from Pullman, Washington, is built by the Home Depot, proud sponsor of college football's premier pregame show.
Martin Stadium, a beautiful little stadium on the Palouse, only seats in the mid-30s. They may have to knock out a wall or something to get everybody in. And here comes Butch T. Cougar, rolling in to lead the Wazoo faithful. We may have more than 30,000 here by the end of the show.
Oh my God.
15 years they've waited, the streak of consecutive appearances for Butch T's flag. Now at 217, I'd like to officially say the streak is alive, boys. Welcome to Pullman. The estimated population is about 33,000, fewer than 20,000 students here, and I think just about all of them have made it to our position here on campus at Washington State as they get ready for the Ducks. Just let them soak it in a minute.
Yeah, just let it breathe.
Hey.
Let it breathe.
Reese Davis, Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, Desmond Howard, thrilled to be here. That'll get your adrenaline going. You know, the famous bar on campus here, the Coug. By state law, I think they had to close it down at 2, open that baby back up at 4, had to get these people ready to go, right? What is it?
Oh my God, I tell you what, this is outstanding. Exactly what we expected. Let's just give the people what they want, man.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's been talked a lot about this week. 15 years they've been carrying that flag around. College Game Day, no matter where Game Day went. James Madison, Fargo, everywhere. And what's even bigger is we've been on the air. You've been on the air for how long?
32 years.
Game Day's never been here, period. Not
Period.
just 15 years. So to finally be here, man, you guys have been here for a few days. I just got here. This is ridiculous. Best scene I think I've ever seen, man.
Oh, man, it's wonderful. Here's the good news for Washington State tonight. The Cougars have beaten the Ducks 3 straight times for the first time in 34 years. 34 years. I got an idea. Listen, I got an idea. Let's make it 4 straight tonight.
You think?
4 straight. Let's make it 4 straight.
Early lead. See if you're going with Butch T. Cougar. You know, Tom Rinaldi's going to give us the entire story of the flag, recount the steps from when Tom Pound started it to when the streak started a couple of weeks after that. That's almost 15 years ago to the day. We've got a full slate. Nearly half the top 10 went down last week, Kurt.
Huge game early in the day. Michigan and Michigan State. You know, guys, these last couple years, it's been so close, and it's gone in favor of Sparty. They've found a way to win. Of course, last week they found a way to upset Penn State. Here comes Shea Patterson and the Michigan offense getting better and better. The defense, to me, will be the key, especially sloppy weather conditions, a possibility.
How about Ohio State and Purdue? I tell you what, the Buckeyes will be without their best defensive player, Nick Bosa. He withdrew from school. He's going to focus on getting healthy and get ready for the NFL draft. But they have guys like Draymond Jones, Chase Young. I think they'll be fine on defense, but they're playing against one of the most exciting freshmen this year, Rondale Moore. That kid right there can get it done.
Alabama and Tennessee. Tennessee has a little chance to win, to beat the Tide. If they do win, it's because they caused turnovers like they did in the upset Bristol. Tide won 5 in a row. Make it 6.
Yeah, that should be an easy one for the Tide, you would think, huh, Coach? But how about this game? You got Mississippi State versus LSU. Now, the Bulldogs, they don't throw the ball that well, but I tell you what, guys, they can run the rock. They're number 1 in the conference, running the ball, and going up against this LSU defense. They played a different set of Bulldogs a week ago and held them to 113 yards rushing. I think it's going to be LSU's defense today.
How about Clemson and North Carolina State at Death Valley? You know all about the quarterback situation. What you're missing is Travis Etienne having a huge year. NC State lost a lot on defense, playing great. I think Clemson's going to make plays throwing down the field. And Ryan Finley, guys, he has tested this Clemson defense the last 2 years. It'll be the 3rd time. We'll see how he plays.
Washington State and Oregon. The Cougs pass it more than anybody. Gardner Minshew pilots the nation's most prolific passing attack, but you better get ready. Head-to-head with Justin Herbert and Dylan Mitchell. 3 straight 100-yard games. I'll tell you, this Coug defense, led by Peyton Pallure, they get after the quarterback. They've done a good job in terms of limiting big plays. We'll see if they can do so against Oregon today. 8 undefeated teams remaining in college football. We have 4 games matching ranked opponents. 6 ranked teams on the road against unranked teams. That proved to be a bugaboo last week. Now, you have a lot of other themes going into this Saturday. You have teams trying to exercise the demon, like Michigan in rivalry games against Michigan State. Michigan State and Mississippi State can completely upset the playoff picture. Maybe Wazoo or Oregon positions himself to be a dark horse in the college football playoff. But that battle of unbeatens in Clemson is really intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, you think about last week, all that chaos, and yet you look at the schedule, there's potential for that kind of Saturday again. You're right about NC State. Last 2 years, NC State's played Clemson. Remember, 2 years ago, they went to Death Valley. Last second field goal, they missed, had a chance to upset them then. Last year with Finley driving, interception late, cost him the game. So they're not intimidated to go into Death Valley. Should be a good game. And Des touched on Purdue and Ohio State. Rondale Moore, this Purdue offense, playing with a lot of confidence. The Ohio State defense, forget about the Bosa story, just the fact that they're giving up big plays.
Yeah.
And here comes a Purdue offense that's clicking. Should be a shootout at the very least.
Oklahoma is an 8-point favorite at TCU, but it's a trap game. Oklahoma's defense is a mystery to me. I don't know what they're doing. It's a perfect spot for an upset in Fort Worth. Perfect spot.
Talk about upset. How about LSU a week ago against Georgia? I like this LSU team. Even though they have a fantastic defense, they play extremely well on that side of the ball. But now Joe Burrow and the offense, an efficient offense, but they're gaining confidence. When they played Georgia last week, you can see the offense just having a lot of confidence in Joe as a quarterback. I like LSU moving forward. They may knock off a couple of teams. When they play Alabama, that's going to be a huge matchup.
It'd be easy to overlook that game today if not for the fact that Mississippi State beat LSU by 30 last year.
37-7.
Yeah, you're right about that.
37-7.
Yeah.
And the other thing is they got a bye week, so
Before the Alabama game.
At least Bama's not next week. So
Exactly.
hopefully they'll be locked in and ready to roll.
Yeah, this is going to be a physical contest today.
Low-scoring
Exactly.
physical game.
Yes,
I
sir.
look forward to seeing if Michigan can follow up on that great performance. Michigan State also had its best performance of the year. We're going to hear from Harbaugh and D'Antonio. Going to visit with Mike Leach. But, I think I know what all of these folks are really waiting on.
What's
that?
Headgear.
Oh,
at the
the
end.
headgear.
And
It's a tough one for you.
well,
It is.
It is, but there's another little problem here. You've missed 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you know the last time you missed 5 straight?
No, when?
15 years
That should
ago.
be a
Hadn't
$100
even
question.
started. There hadn't even started with the old Crimson Streak.
You better get serious.
Wow.
Man,
LC.
Uh-oh.
This is going to be
serious
serious business.
Which way should he go? Should he go with the Cougs today?
The Ducks, it's family. The Ducks.
My duck, my beloved ducks.
I know.
All of that is coming up. We got the longest fly cam run in game day history, technical innovations, crazy crowd, RVs, food, you name it. Coming up inside, will they or won't they make the college football playoff? What chances does your team have to get in at the end of the season? Biggest strengths, biggest weaknesses, why we believe they will or won't make it. And 5 years ago, the man, the myth, popcorn guy. Can Gene Wojciechowski find popcorn guy?
Find him. Where is he?
Well, the stadium was almost empty because we were getting pounded, and that guy's enjoying his popcorn, and I was glad somebody was having a pretty good day, but and he was putting down as much of it as he possibly could.
And old Crimson, flying 217 consecutive shows now. Tom Rinaldi, the story of the connection between the Washington State flag and game day. This crowd, have a fireball, everybody!
Hey, what took us so long? Where the hell have we been? We've been all over up here. We should have been here. It's a long way, but it's worth it.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. And in part by Pizza Hut, official pizza of college football. Order now at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
College Game Day bus. Bobby the bus driver got a hero's welcome rolling in here, and he found his way back home. If that doesn't send chills up your spine, you probably don't have a spine.
I agree.
Andy Grammer, who plays back home, is going to play Pullman November 2nd. And Andy, I hope you get half the welcome that we just got right here. It's not bad. David Pollock joins us here. What a scene here. Are you overwhelmed here? You like the fireworks right off the bat.
Des, we questioned him yesterday. The Friday crowd was not as big as JMU.
Exactly, but this
They brought it today.
Yeah, they brought it.
This is tops. This is good.
They called a couple of friends.
And brought them all, for
Yes, they
sure.
did.
Great scene here at Washington State. There's also a little bit of a changing of the guard coming into Big 12 today. TCU takes on Oklahoma. Oklahoma's back at it, a week off to lick their wounds after losing to Texas. And as we are on the subject of this OU-TCU matchup, let's take a look at our blip-worthy moment presented by Goodyear. The year was 1998, the last time a Stoops was not on the sideline for Oklahoma. Remember, that was the John Blake era. Next season, Bob Stoops took over. Mike Stoops has just been relieved of his duties as defensive coordinator. And the last time no Stoops on the sideline, young Lincoln Riley, little quarterback, little defensive end for Muleshoe, Texas. Lincoln will be calling the ball plays for Kyler Murray and the fellas against TCU. This is an explosive offense. Everybody knows that. It's not the problem. This has been the defense, which has not been good. So Mike Stoops is out. Ruffin McNeil, who used to work with Mike Leach back in the day at Texas Tech, is now taking care at Oklahoma. Now, sometimes you wonder if just having a different voice can help a defense. Brendan Radley Hiles, who is a 5-star defensive back recruit, a young player, tweeted this and then subsequently took it down and said it's different when you love the coach you playing for. He was wishing happy birthday to Ruffin McNeil, who's the new defensive coordinator there. Perceived as a bit of a shot at Mike Stoops, but as Lincoln Riley said, you have an emotional week and you go through with one tweet you wish you had back, probably not that bad. Can this help Oklahoma to hear a different voice and fix their defense?
Time will tell. I mean, the personnel's not changing. You're not going to go on the free agent market, pick up a couple guys, and shore up the back end or the guys up front. The reality is this defense over the last 6, 7, 8 years, they have not had the same names on the roster. You look in the NFL, Oklahoma used to produce guys left and right in the first round. Tommy Harris, Gerald McCoy, Rocky Kalmus, Teddy Lehman, Roy Williams. It was just one year after another. There was 1 or 2 or 3 guys in the first round. Dusty Dvorak, our guy, was a tough player and a guy that went on to the NFL. Look at their roster the last few years defensively. They just haven't had those players. So I think we'll see. Time will tell. They're going up against a TCU offense. It's self-destructing every single week. And if you get a little success, you can maybe light a feed off of it. Exactly. So we'll see, but the same players.
Defense more than offense, though, is about adrenaline. It's about caring.
Yeah.
It's about giving a little bit more effort, because even if you're undersized, you can still find a way with fight. This team hasn't fought as hard as I'd like to see. I'd like to see them play harder, and maybe a simple tweet like that and a simple change, and if everybody buys in,
ignite it,
maybe it gets them a little bit more emotion. Emotion helps. Y'all know that. Emotion helps. Play harder. So I think this could help Oklahoma's chances. And if you're an Oklahoma fan, you're tired of wasting championship offenses. You've wasted them for the last 3 or 4 years, and you got to do. You got to change and do something different.
I think people are making a mistake, Des, if they write Oklahoma off in the college football playoff just because their defense has struggled early.
I agree with you 100%. And defense is about effort. And it's about emotion. And you have young men who obviously they didn't really buy into what Stoops was selling. At some point, the message got stale. And as a player, you have to have self-pride, but it also helps when you have a coach who can pull things out of you that you didn't know existed. Ruffin McNeil is a motivator. He may not be the best at scheming against offenses, but he's a motivator. And I think if he can motivate this team defensively, then they will go out there and play up to their potential. So I think this change was needed. I think this change is great, and I do think we'll see it pay off in big dividends on the field.
One thing I'll say is the Big 12 is the Big 12. I mean, they are a very unique conference. No matter who, you can bring Bill Belichick in there or Nick Saban. It's still the Big 12 with the spread. They spread you sideline to sideline. The quarterbacks have been running these offenses since they were in 7th grade. By the time they are freshmen, they know it like a coach. And you throw in the up-tempo. Quarterback a lot of times a dual guy. Defenses are playing for a stop in the red zone in the Big 12. This isn't a Norman thing. This is an entire conference thing. And they'll say this. They went and played Georgia in a semifinal game, and you're thinking, okay, here's an SEC defense. They were scoring against them. So this is more, to me, of a compliment towards the Big 12 and the offenses that all these defensive coordinators see every week.
And I think there is a shift if in the Big 12. If you look at points per game since 2015, it's gone down every single year. Plays per game, it keeps going down. So I think the Big 12 defense is getting. You watch Iowa State.
They're getting familiar with it.
They're getting better. They're doing more 3-man fronts, more guys, more speed on the field coming from everywhere. Big 12 defenses have been improving the last couple years, and I think you're seeing that. West Virginia last week.
What happens in that situation is because you have offenses now, you have to recruit to those type of offenses that you have to defend. So now the recruiting classes are starting to catch up with the offenses they have to defend. That's why the numbers are starting to go down.
To see if the Big 12 can follow suit. Texas has played pretty good defense. We'll see if they were, they got lit up by Oklahoma, but everybody's going to get lit up by Oklahoma.
That's true. Anyway. That's very true.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure the Big 12 is totally out of this, but the Big 12, they feel like that their position in the playoff is in jeopardy, and so too all the teams, they feel like they can't get a break in the American. Raymond James Stadium, South Florida's undefeated. Take on UConn, it might be the worst team among the major teams, certainly the worst defense in college football. They're on pace to set a record for most points given up. But the American has 3 teams that are undefeated, including Cincinnati, who's going to take on Temple today. Luke Fickell's team, top 15 in defensive efficiency. You know all about UCF. 19 straight wins. Pull one out of the fire against Memphis. Longest winning streak getting greeted here. And South Florida, they've escaped. They've been like Houdini. 3 of their 6 wins have been by 7 points or fewer. You've probably seen the flashing UCF sign right over my man.
There's a lot of UCF.
Just flashing one that's been over Hurst's shoulder the whole time.
They're here.
Are these teams getting the credit that they're due, the things that they've earned?
They're getting talked about a lot, so that gives you that's some credit. Mackenzie Milton gets the credit he's due, but I don't think if you're pulling for UCF and some of the non-Power 5 teams to be in the playoff, I think you're mistaken. I don't think it's going to happen.
Is that right?
No,
okay?
it's right. Yes, because listen, the schedule is the schedule.
You say it's right?
I'm saying it's right. Yes, that they should not be in.
Right. I agree with you. I mean, in order to get respect, you're going to have to start playing some Power 5 teams. You got to start playing, not even the top ones, just mid-level Power 5 teams and beat them convincingly. And then I think at that point the ball starts to roll and you start to get a little momentum, and then possibly you would get a shot at the college football playoff. Just you have a Power 5, right? You got a Power 5 conference. So that's 5 teams right there. Then you only got 4 slots to get in the playoff. And then you got independent Notre Dame. Exactly. So the chances are very unlikely that a non-Power 5 team will ever play in the playoff.
I'll throw in the UCF Twitter cussing us all out right now. We beat Auburn. We beat Auburn, Power 5.
Beat Pittsburgh.
Congratulations.
Notre Dame did
this year.
Congratulations.
This argument needs to stop being just about UCF.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big believer that if you play people like a Boise State used to do, like playing Georgia on the road and
Virginia Tech,
you should be rewarded for that. Why are we focusing just on UCF when it comes to the Power 5? Because I think there are other teams that are out there that are as deserving or more deserving. When you look at this graphic, the only team ranked in the top 30 of FPI, Sagarin, S&P, Fresno State. You want to take the ESPN bias out that they think that UCF fans think? Look at the only 2 teams ranked in the top 25 in Sagarin and S&P has nothing to do with ESPN. Appalachian State and Fresno State. Fresno State has the toughest strength of schedule. So what Des is talking about, and David, like you need to play somebody to be able to be rewarded. UCF, you need to not just worry about being undefeated and trying to get into the top 4. You need to look behind you at teams like Utah State, App State, Fresno State. These teams on paper, which is what you want to look at a lot of times, are better than UCF and more deserving than UCF. That's all I thought I'd add to the program today.
Thank you, sir. I mean, nothing else needs to be said about that. That was I appreciate that.
You feel better? You feel better?
Good.
Yeah, you feel good.
You think about the plane ride here, huh?
I'm good this week. Get a quick one in here.
I will say this. Is it easy for UCF to schedule a big boy? Does everybody want to play UCF? Probably not. So I don't think it's easy for them either, but they can definitely schedule a couple more games.
Why isn't Fresno State being talked about?
You just talked about it.
We just got teams if they wanted to play them.
You know why it is. It's because of the 0 in the loss column and the 19 straight win. I'm just telling you why. You asked me why. I answered the question.
But I'm just saying that.
I'm going to tell you this, and I'll take some of the lambasting from UCF too.
Yeah.
You can be a late September call-up in the major leagues and bat 400.
Yeah.
That does not mean you win the batting title. You have to have enough big league at bats. A couple of years ago when Houston had that big win against Oklahoma, another chance against Louisville, and they won those games, they won their conference games, they could have gotten in.
I like when you stared at the camera. No, keep going.
Bring it back in there, right? Bring it back in there. Now, they would play them. That was great. I'm going to tell you,
Get in there.
UCF would play them, but they're not. So you have to deal with what is. So what is Bear has an American game on the board with one of the undefeated teams.
Great segue.
You got 3 undefeated teams from the American Bears. Cincinnati going to stay that way?
We're going to lose one of the undefeateds from the American today. When it comes to trusting the AP poll or Las Vegas, I'm trusting Las Vegas. The unranked 3-loss team is favored over the ranked undefeated team. Ever since Russo got inserted into the lineup for Temple, their offense has been much more dynamic. Even if Armstead doesn't play today, I think Temple will put up a bunch of points on Cincinnati. You got to go back. Last time you saw a team that was 6-0 or better, it was an underdog to a team with at least 3 losses.
How long?
Utah at USC a couple of years back, and the Utes wound up getting blown out by a 3-loss SC team. I think Temple today gets the win, and we'd lose one of those undefeated teams.
Temple's kind of sneaky.
Big win last week at Navy, by the way. That was a tough spot for
They
them.
struggled early, and then they've come out kind of like a Purdue.
Quarterback changes.
Quarterback changes helped them.
By the way, Reese recognize before we got started, you're shooting for the stars now. You got some names. You got some name recognition up there on the board.
Well,
now we go.
I was mandated by somebody not to put any more MAC games on the board.
Thank you.
Because the win percentage has been a little lacking there, so we figured we'd step it up.
You got some big boys there.
Okay.
All right. We'll see what happens.
You got any of those Mountain West teams that I like to? I listed both Utah State and Fresno State in my top 25
They're both
AP
big
this year.
favorites on the road today,
like
and
them
I know
both?
if you look at big numbers, I don't know if I'd go laying 2 touchdowns with either of those teams. There's a lot of public money behind those two teams. Bob Davies' team has pulled some big upsets before. So I don't know if they can pull another one, but it's funny, Utah State, we criticized Michigan State for struggling with them early in the year. Utah State is good.
Good ball club.
I'm going to tell you, there's another couple of teams that are outside the Power 5 that are pretty good. They're going to play today. UAB and North Texas. UAB is a really good defensive team. They take on North Texas. North Texas has been terrific on offense.
Mason Fine is a beast.
Yeah, that is a legit
awesome
game in Conference USA there between the Mean Green and the Blazers. I want you to take a look at the uniforms that UAB will be wearing. They started this last year, but they're wearing names of patients with chronic illnesses on the back of their jerseys this weekend. UAB Hospital in Birmingham, they do a wonderful, wonderful job taking care of chronically ill patients, and the Blazers paying tribute to them. And a nice round of applause from our good friends here on the Palouse, who certainly appreciate the good work that UAB and many other schools across the country are doing to reach out beyond football.
Need some more flags.
Isn't it a shame we didn't have any flags?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Gardner Minshew mustaches for everybody. Is that Alice Cooper? Who is that Ozzy Osbourne?
Look at Baby Blue with the mustache over there. Look at that, Kirk. That's good.
Dad's with that tight cut over there. Old school.
Hey, Maria, I got to ask Maria Taylor. Maria, who wore the mustache best? Which one of us?
I was going to say you, Reese, so you might want to look into it. You and the Gardner Minshew mustache, it might work. All I know is since we've been here, it's certainly a Coug thing, and when we come back on College Game Day, we're going to talk about the college football playoff, because that is a thing right now. We've seen some teams kind of take a hit to their hopes in the college football playoff race. We're going to see who are some contenders, who are some pretenders, and who is still alive in the race to that Final Four. And as you know, Old Crimson has had a long-standing love affair with College Game Day. 217 trips to the show in the making. Tom Rinaldi will walk you through the origins of Old Crimson.
That live down the street. I got everything I need and nothing that I don't.
College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Sling TV, the live TV you love with no long-term contracts. Watch 7 days free at sling.com.
What a scene here in Pullman. You know they declared a state of emergency so they could move all of the fans.
That's crazy.
Here, they had to use the city vehicles to make sure they got everybody here on campus for game day. The city has been so cooperative, and we appreciate that for sure. You saw the fly cam shot and aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Keep pushing day in and day out on the field and on tires you can trust to help you go the distance. Goodyear, more driven. And into the den here just outside Martin Stadium. Coke Zero Sugar offering fans the best seats from which to enjoy College Game Day. It is Section 0. Everybody loves Gardner Minshew. This is becoming a thing on campus with all the mustaches. He's married to that thing now. He can't shave it ever.
How do you not?
Oh, wait, there's Tommy Townsend. He's the guy who had the flag idea. Who started the godfather of Old Crimson.
Nice. Good catch there, Reese.
About that. But Mike Leach is like Woodstock, except everybody's got their clothes on. Uncle Rico. Because Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew looks like him with the mustache, right?
That's true.
He
That's
can throw
very
the football
true.
over those mountains.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Today, they go to Typhoon. And look at Oregon. They found their way here. You know, there's an 18-minute span last Saturday that really flipped the top 10 around, delighted some Cougs, got some things flying for a lot of teams. Look at all those flags.
Goodness gracious. How do they see?
This feels like a playoff elimination game.
I just want to roll my sleeves up and start again.
The
Spartans have stunned Penn State.
The LSU Fighting Tigers, a signature win, defeating the #2 ranked Georgia Bulldogs in a big way.
Down by 3. They hand it off. Straight out for a touchdown. C.J. Burnell wins the game for Oregon.
Every week, it matters.
Who is going to be in when it's all said and done? This is just the beginning.
It does matter for sure. You've seen all of the old crimson flags flying about. There are 61 different schools represented by all of these flags. Those are the campuses on which Old Crimson has made an appearance on College Game Day, and they want to salute all of those
Very
schools.
cool.
But
That's cool.
neat.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Camaraderie in a community. Look at the comparison, the AP top 10 entering last week and this week. You had 4 of the top 10 lose. You had a couple who had to escape, Notre Dame and UCF. Both had to pull games out of the fire, and that is certainly to their credit. But here we are just over a week from the release of the first college football playoff rankings, and it sort of makes you wonder about teams who are on the outside starting to push. I want you guys to give me some thoughts as to why you think these teams can make it or can't, whichever one you feel strongest about. Let's start with Michigan. I think Michigan's ascending.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Michigan is on the rise. They have, I think, the toughest path to get to the college football playoff. But they have a great defense, and defenses travel. Today is going to be a big test. I'm still not 100% sold on the offense, though. So I'm kind of on the fence with Michigan. I have to see a lot from them today against Michigan State on the road.
Championship defense for sure. If you're asking me for the question mark, offensive line play. I mean, I know they run the football effectively, but I think they do it more by formation and shifts. I don't know if they're good enough on the offensive side of the ball because Ded's mentioned Penn State, Michigan State, Ohio State.
And then they may have to play, Wisconsin again, the championship game.
Yeah, a lot of challenges.
I completely agree. The offensive line, I think it's a little bit of a mirage because you look at the numbers and you say, wow, Michigan's really getting physical and running the ball. But when you really watch them, it's more about getting out on the perimeter with Higdon and Shea Patterson running with his own read and picking up huge yards. So it's a little bit misleading. And when they go to East Lansing today, when they go to Columbus, eventually Penn State, their offense has to continue to grow to give them a chance to match that defense, which will keep them in every game they play.
All right, Michigan's only loss was to Notre Dame. Notre Dame close against Pitt. You think you like Notre Dame's chances right now? Yeah, the schedule favors them.
Schedule looks really good. I do want to see them down the stretch here, though. I want to see their offensive line. If we want to keep this about offensive line, I want to see their offensive line with the injuries now up front. Can they push people around and be physical? Can they protect Ian Book? I think that's their biggest Achilles.
Alex Barr's injury at left guard was big because of the left side they lost last year to the NFL. I like them. I think that this is a team, they got a little scare last week against Pitt. I think that could be a wake-up call. I think this is a team that it's not necessarily, you look at their schedule, you think, oh, they're going to blow everybody out. They're going to get a test or two, maybe Syracuse, maybe SC late. But I like this Notre Dame team as far as who they have to play.
I like Notre Dame, too. I think Ian Book at the quarterback position, that was a great quarterback change by Coach Brian Kelly. They have a championship defense. I like Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame's on midterms, and historically, when they get there, they always have a zombie-like performance. All right, what about Texas?
Well, that was a pause.
That's a pause right there.
Here's my thing on Texas. I think the coming years with Tom Herman, they're going to be much better physically on the field than the team that they have right now. What you love about them is they're drinking that culture. They're believing in the mojo of who this team is. But as far as just talent, you're going to roll the talent out and compare them to some of these other teams. I don't think Texas is quite there yet.
I'm not buying Texas right now. I think Texas is a year away. I think their defense is getting much better. Offense is starting to really understand what Coach Herman wants them to do, and they're starting to click a little bit, but I don't buy them this year. I think they're a year away.
Sam Ehlinger injury is huge because this is not and it's his throwing shoulder, one, but two, the most important component of this offense is his feet. It's his physical.
Exactly.
They don't have a physical offensive line that mauls you. He is the big physical workhorse. Now he's got a ding shoulder, and he's got to throw with that shoulder. That, to me, for Texas, that's not good for the stretch.
They say they've got a ton of confidence in Shane Buechele, though, who's played a lot for Texas. Way in here, you got a hypothetical or a team you want to throw out here?
No, this is just the time of the year. The conversation's fine that this team wins out and this team wins out and this team. In the 4 years of the playoff, you've had 3 Power 5 teams
total
that were undefeated on Selection Day. And you've got 5 Power 5 unbeatens right now. One is absolutely losing today in Death Valley, NC State or Clemson. So my question to you would be, of the remaining 4 Power 5 unbeatens after today, which will be NC State Clemson winner, Ohio State, Alabama, Notre Dame, and I'm missing one, I think.
Bama, Ohio State, Clemson, Notre Dame, and NC State. NC State.
How many are undefeated on Selection Day?
On Selection
on the end of the year.
End of the year. When we're
just because of those numbers.
I'll say 2.
I'll say 2.
I would say 2.
What do you set the over/under at 2?
Yeah, 2.
1.5.
1.5, right.
1.5. Under. You're going under.
I'll take the under.
Wow.
Just 1. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you, the other thing, too, is everybody's too quick to write off conferences. Yeah. What about the winner of our game today?
Yeah, how about
Washington State and Oregon? Everybody acknowledged, I think, Oregon could make the move, but if Washington State wins the game...
Yeah, man.
Hold on, Des.
Just saying, why not?
We buried the Pac-12 on College Football Live. I know you were with me on that. I mean,
did we bury them?
Yeah, we buried them.
We put dirt on them?
Well, dig them up.
It's a wrap. We may have to dig them up. I mean, what happened today? I'm just saying, brother.
Hey, man.
I think Oregon has a shot.
Yeah.
I think Oregon has a shot.
If Oregon wins here, and you look who they played and who they still have to play, and if the losses start to mount like you're talking about, Oregon still is in a position, if they can win today, to still be able to climb the ladder.
Yeah, think about the Pac-12. They need a lot of help.
Yeah.
A lot of help.
But think about Oregon's loss. It was in overtime. They clearly dominated that. You saw that game. You know they gave it away as a young team.
They were up 24-7.
They were the better team.
They were the better team.
Stanford
they
needs
lost.
to start winning or keep winning because they won the other night.
And that counts, by the way. They lost the game.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see how the committee would treat them because their non-conference schedule this year is worse than what Washington had a couple of years ago when they made the playoffs. So even though that the loss would really technically be a win, but I'd be really curious to see
how
the
would catch them if they're at that 4, 5, 6 debate. That would really set them back.
Yeah, that was the biggest question that people. That was the biggest question people had about Washington a couple of years ago. The Huskies slipped in there.
Yeah, they still made it.
You're right.
The non-conference schedule do the Pac-12 in.
They don't like the fact that you guys are writing off the Cougs here.
These guys are. I wasn't part of that. I was watching high school football.
3:30 Eastern time.
Mr. President.
Carolina State and Clemson. These two have played close games, but Clemson has dominated the series of late. Will that change? You can see it streaming live on the ESPN app. Hey, let's check in now with Stephen Julian from the Coug here in Pullman. He's a Home Depot Game Day tailgate, knows his grilling stuff when it comes to game day tailgating as he prepares those burgers. I got to go in there and write my name on the wall and on the counter.
Saw that.
Kind of
signed it like 7 times.
I know.
You're everywhere.
I think they adopted me. They adopted me at least for the weekend. Honorary Coug for the weekend.
They can't afford your wardrobe.
Or yours. Our good friends at Wheels Up going to make sure that a Cougar legend, Drew Bledsoe, will join us here to be our celebrity guest picker. They've got a great history of quarterbacks at Washington State. Bledsoe right at the top of that list. He'll join us coming up in just a little bit. Oh, some people are really drawing on this, the brotherly love of little brother and big brother between the Wolverines.
Sometimes you get your little brother excited when you're playing basketball and stuff. You let him get the lead, and then you just come back and take it back.
That's all right. Some people think, that's played out. A remarkable story tonight from Purdue of a guy who has inspired the Boilermakers and reminds us of the impact that all of us can have on each other.
These lights, it's full steam ahead. Stay on your mission or get thrown off track. Anything can happen on Saturday night.
When the lights come on, everybody screaming, lighters in the sky, and everybody singing.
Still awaiting sunrise on the Palousas Fertile Valley. Great farming community, wonderful academic institution, and people that know how to party on a college football weekend. The scene here, amazing. There's an RV section behind our set, tricked out to the nines. And flags everywhere to celebrate 217 consecutive appearances of Old Crimson on College Game Day. There are many great Washington State Cougars One of them is the great Steve Gleason, who came here, an unheralded guy, but had a great career at Washington State, went on and played for the New Orleans Saints. Steve and his wife celebrating the birth of their daughter, Gray Barisco Gleason, this week. He, of course, is battling ALS. You see no white flags from Steve Gleason. He's enjoying the arrival of the new baby, but took time to tape a message for his people.
Hi there, Cougar Nation. The Northwest fuels my crimson blood, and I have our daughter Gray here with me. Together we've got this covered. Have a great one today. As always, no white flags. Love you, WSU.
We all know the cruelty of ALS and is taking its toll on Steve, but we continue to offer our support, our good thoughts, and our prayers, and certainly all of Cougar Nation is behind Steve Gleason. Glad he could be a part of this celebration this morning. On the banks of the Red Cedar, Michigan State has been less little brother and more daddy to Michigan. You know, the Wolverines have lost 17 straight road games against AP-ranked opponents. 06 Notre Dame, back in the Lloyd Carr era. They'll try to change that in East Lansing, where Kirk mentioned earlier, could have some weather issues. Look back at some great moments in this rivalry. How about Le'Veon Bell in 2010?
Oh, man. Physicality. You got throwing the football downfield.
Michigan State scored 24 in a row in that game.
Yeah.
Won it 34-17. And then this is the one that looked like Harbaugh had everything all wrapped up in 2015. Blake O'Neal gets away, and Jalen Watts Jackson. McDonough's call was classic here. Every time this game's on, I watch it again just to hear Sean's call at the end. He is a treasure. And then 2017, boy, this was miserable weather conditions there. Brian Lewerke.
Second half, the weather became a huge issue. Michigan actually was in position to win this game until Michigan State, doing what they typically do, slop it up, find a way to win in the fourth quarter, and that's what they did.
And these two teams hate each other.
Sure do. I think Sparty hates Michigan more than Michigan.
Hate's a strong word. It may be for those guys in the green, but not the guys in the blue.
I don't know, Desmond. Look at this. Harbaugh, look at some tweets from back in December. Harbaugh tweets, saw Coach D's comments and continuing to focus on how he can beat Michigan. Congrats on turning around a 3-9 team plagued with off-field issues. And D'Antonio with the classic, it's not over. It will never be over. It's just getting started. Now, after all of that in December, it was strangely quiet this week. You know, if you look really deep, there might be a few little rumblings. You know, Michigan never releases a depth chart. So this week, Michigan State also does not release a depth chart. D'Antonio said, oh, things change by Saturday. Yeah, right. If you listen closely, you can hear a little bit of intensity no matter what they say if we translate it just right.
I think Coach Harbaugh does a great job. I think he's all about that. I think he tries to play the game like it's supposed to be played. I think he respects the football game. I think he respects the game, the general game of football.
What he means is I really hate Michigan, and their coach ain't my BFF. Let's hear what Harbaugh says.
Comes a hat.
They do a great job of adjusting and tremendously, very well coached, and they have a lot of variation to their scheme.
Oh, I get that. I do hate Michigan State, and their coach probably doesn't even drink milk. That's what they really mean. You might have to go between the lines for the coaches, but not with the fans. That block in that you're not supposed to step on at Michigan there on the diag. Spartan came in here with a little green SU on the end. There was also some blue painting that went on in East Lansing, too, as they always try to attack Sparty. Now, you get through all of that, which makes it great. It's great, as Coach said a minute ago, Teams don't like each other. But what Michigan hasn't liked is offense on the road. They just haven't played as well offensively away from home. That could change as they continue to grow a little bit. And you also have to factor in they had to deal with Notre Dame on the road. But this is a big opportunity for a game we've touched on a little bit today.
Yeah, I tell you what, they're going to have to show up offensively because when you look at the Spartans' defense, I mean, this group, you don't run the ball on them. They play with an attitude. They play relentless. And D'Antonio always gets these guys. He gets their best effort, especially when you play up against the Maize and Blue. Let me show you what Michigan's offense is going to have to deal with today when they go up against Sparty's defense. Look at number 17 right here, Tariq Thompson. This guy is going to read his keys, and he's not going to come now. He's going to come right now when he reads the run and makes the tackle. They just do simple plays. They're fundamentally sound, but they play hard and get to the ball. Now, he's going to cross the face of the right guard, but watch number 48, Kenny Wilkes. Watch how he plays his own read. He takes the running back, but then falls back in and makes a tackle on the quarterback. This group is very sound and very disciplined. Now, watch Tyreek right here. Very aggressive. He doesn't make the play because the guard folds him up, but he piles up the body so the running back has to make a quick cut, and then the secondary defender will come up and make the play. They're an unselfish group. They play very hard, and it's extremely difficult to run the ball against Sparty's defense. That's going to be Michigan's biggest task. Can they run the ball effectively against the Sparty today?
Yeah, we just talked in the last segment how Michigan seems to be evolving offensively. It's not necessarily this between the tackles, old school Jim Harbaugh, Pep Hamilton offense. And start seeing Ed Warner, who's a former Ohio State offensive coordinator, see Jim McElwain, who's a Florida Gator head coach. All these minds offensively trying to figure out how can this offense work with the personnel that we have and with an athletic dual threat quarterback. It's no longer, like I said, a Stanford style of offense with Harbaugh and Hamilton. It's become much more multiple. So the formations, the personnel groupings are different. Here's two tight ends set last week against Wisconsin. It's the pin and pull concept that you see. This is kind of more old school Jim Harbaugh, getting a hat on a hat, a kick out block, and then for Lee Corso, they get up to that second level. And Karan Higdon picks up 25 yards in a hurry. That's the other thing. They'll mix it. Here's a two running back look. Wisconsin says you want two backs. That's a run look. 8 men up close. Watch how Shea Patterson reads the end. Look how long he stays on that ride. The longer he stays on it, the longer he can read and make an evaluation on 56. And there's a way to be able to get the ball out on the perimeter. Now they go under center, and this is what I love on 1st and 10. Play action, because the defense is expecting a run. They go deep to take the safeties with them in the corner with them. Now you got to rush in, and all that space, he comes up on Higdon. Look at that hole in the back end of that Wisconsin defense. Easy read, easy throw, and I think all of these things mixed together give you the Michigan offense. Dez is all over it. Michigan State at home in a rivalry game with sloppy conditions, they're going to take away between the tackles. If I'm Michigan, I get on the perimeter with the run game, I get on the perimeter with zone read, and then I go play action and find ways to methodically move the ball, because it's going to be one of those games. Low scoring, field position kind of game. Give me Michigan on the road, gets it done.
Good win. I got $5 for anybody that tells me how many years Michigan has played Michigan State.
110 years.
Oh, God.
Well, yeah.
You guys win. There's half a time out, Bill.
You got some Scotch tape?
Hey, you keep it up. And listen, State has beaten Michigan 4 to 5 times, and they're confident. But you got it. The Michigan new offense wins it tonight for Michigan.
Well, D'Antonio's 8-3 against the Spartans.
Yeah, is that illegal to do that? Or is it, it's a
110 years. 110 years.
So it's worth it, man, I guess.
Somebody erase that portion of the tape. I don't want Coach to get in trouble.
Yeah.
I really think this is an opportunity here to get this. This is another game going on in the Big Ten, Kinnick Stadium, Maryland and Iowa today. The Hawkeyes, speaking of good defenses in the Big Ten, I tell you what, the Hawkeyes have been really good taking on the Terps.
Yeah, I tell you what, watch Maryland. I mean, their offense has been kind of productive lately. Kasem Hill has been playing well at the quarterback position, and Ty Johnson's running the ball very, averaging 8 yards per carry. But going up against this Hawkeyes defense, number 2 in scoring defense and total defense in the Big Ten, I think that Maryland's going to be shut down by the Hawkeyes defense today.
Ohio State and Purdue, this crowd will be fired up for the Buckeyes coming in at number 2, taking on the Boilermakers, who have a lot of confidence. They're throwing the ball, obviously, downfield. Purdue defense with Nick Holt, all of a sudden more aggressive. aggressive, more attacking. It's been working. David Blau finding Rondale Moore. He'll look for number 4 all night tonight in some one-on-one matchups. It's going to be up to Chase Young and that Ohio State defense to try to disrupt the timing of that Purdue offense. They look great right now.
You know, I'm not sure that it's really, it's kind of an odd situation in terms of the attention that Nick Bosa decided to withdraw from school, how much attention that's gotten, because he hasn't played for them since getting hurt in the TCU game, had core surgery.
Yeah.
This, according to his father, this surgery a little more extensive than people initially thought.
Right.
What's your reaction to the news and the impact on Ohio State potentially?
Well, we don't have all the information, but based on what his dad said, and he made a comment that said that he thought that his son could return in December.
I think he said best case scenario.
Best case scenario, right. Well, he tossed it out there. So when he tossed that out there, I can only go on his words, Yeah. And if you can return in December, I think that's the right time for him to make a return if he's able to return. Now, no one comes back 100% from any injury during the season, so we didn't expect that. But if you can return in December, which is the most important part of your season, if you're going for a championship and you're going to play in the college football playoff, then I think you would take that opportunity to help your team win a championship. I cannot fault any young man, though, for making a financial decision. But just call it for what it is and just keep it moving. I'm always a player's advocate.
I think there's two different lenses for me to look at. There's the lens that you're talking about. Each of these players in 2018, I think in many cases, they look at themselves as an individual brand. Yeah. And if you're looking at it through that lens of what's best for me, what's best for my career, then I think you're going to see players like Nick Bosa, who clearly have a first-round, top 5, top pick, maybe draft, think about what he needs to do. For me, man, I'm from just a different generation. And so it's hard for me to relate to that lens because as Des said, the father said he possibly could have come back in December, which means to me, when you're a captain and you're part of a team, I just can't imagine leaving. This is just me. I can't imagine leaving my teammates. I can't imagine if you have a chance to win a championship, maybe go to a playoff. So it depends to me. If you're focused strictly on the finances, I got it. You got to do what you got to do. But if you're looking at it a little bit differently, like I would, then I think you're a little bit more committed to the team.
I do think that there's a little bit of an aspect here in terms of the injury that people aren't fully familiar with. I talked with Dr. Bill Myers, who's a leading core surgeon, not about Bosa specifically, but about the way these things go. And he pointed out a study that with these core injuries, sometimes your reaction time is slower. It makes you more vulnerable to other injuries. They've presented a lot of studies about it. So those are things we don't know. For sure. We don't know for sure if he could have come back.
Yeah,
one thing we do know is that when Ohio State
plays,
when they played last year as a big favorite on the road, coming off a win, they went to Iowa and got housed. This game, in my judgment, was the one that kept them out of the college football playoff because of how badly they lost. They lost 55-24. Now they go in, similar situation, big favorite here against Purdue tonight.
Man, Purdue will test the Buckeye pass defense tonight. They'll throw, then they'll throw, then they'll throw some more. And it'll make it really exciting. And I'm telling you, I learned from experience. You play Purdue at home in that grass, I'm telling you, they're hard to beat. You're doing it in a game, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Check the length of the grass.
I will.
Yeah, check the length of the grass. I'm telling you, they keep it nice and high when they want to throw the ball.
I think they did. Back in the 70s and 80s, it was a little bit higher.
Yeah, but higher.
Now, I did the Northwestern game, and I said something to the groundskeeper. I was shocked that a Midwest field could be that short.
Really?
So speed could be a factor, which helps Rondale Moore and that Ohio State offense.
That's what I'm thinking.
Reality is, Ohio State, forget the Nick Bosa thing to the side, Ohio State's defense has been giving up plays. And they've got some issues defending RPOs. And you wonder if Purdue's going to be able to try to create some opportunities for RPOs to try to get the ball into their back, DJ Knox, or pull it out and throw the ball to Rondale Moore on the quick slants. That's an issue for Ohio State. I think at the very least, guys, this is a shootout. I think Ohio State can score, and I think Purdue can score.
I tell you what, make sure you text me like the report about the grass.
I will.
Because I don't think they're going to grow that grass that high, because then you take away your number one weapon. That's Rondale Moore.
Yeah.
I think he's the most fantastic, the most exciting freshman I've seen all year.
Yeah.
So they're not going to grow it too fast. I like Ohio State to win.
It's on Bear's board.
Bear, big teams.
I agree with you, Kurt. I think this game at the very minimum is a 38, 35, 41, 34 type game.
Yeah.
No offense in the Big Ten has produced more plays of 25 yards or longer than Purdue.
Right.
I think against that Ohio State linebacker and secondary, the safeties,
Yeah.
there could be some big problems. If it's windy as well, a lot of short passes, goes, scampers.
Yeah.
I don't know if Purdue can get enough stops to win, but I'm certainly taking them plus the 12.5 tonight. Browns teams have been great as an underdog, 7-2 against the number, 4 outright wins. So I think Purdue keeps this game really close tonight.
I love how Jeff Fromm coaches too.
The
team was 0-3. They've won 3 in a row, and they've just thrown, basically just thrown havoc into the wind and taken chances. And it's fun to watch.
He had great success at Western Kentucky.
That offense is going to have to deal with Malik Harris and Jonathan Cooper. I think they're back and ready to go too. So Ohio State's getting a little bit healthy. You know, we're seeing this great scene here on the Palouse today as sunrise starts to come. We understand this deep feeling, this connection between school and team, and how supporting a team, being part of it, becomes part of who a person is. The tradition here has become the flag. There's a tradition at Purdue as well that candidly is mildly crude, a little controversial. They like to chant before the game. They'll chant IU, quote, sucks. Tom Rinaldi is here. Tom, tonight they're going to change it to cancer sucks, and you have the story why.
Reese, when Ross-Ade Stadium makes that chant at kickoff, they'll be doing so for one particular fan, a remarkable student, Tyler Trent, a sophomore at Purdue, who in addition to having taken more than a full course load, written for the school newspaper, and created a charity to support other families going through cancer, has fought through the disease 3 times himself. And for the biggest game of Purdue's season, in the hardest season of his life, Tyler fights their story, and we're so appreciative of that in tribute faith, which they say has given them the strength to persevere through this fight, but also to give attention to pediatric cancer, which is so often overshadowed. The great work being done at Riley Children's Hospital in Indiana, as well as the Purdue Center for Cancer Research. Texting back and forth with Tyler and with his dad. As of right now, the plan is full go. Tyler Trent will leave his house and make his way to Ross-Ade Stadium tonight. He plans to be there for the Boilermakers. College Game Day from Washington State on the Palouse. We'll be back after this.
I got some good friends that live down the street. Got a good-looking woman with her arms around me. Here in a small town where it feels like home. I got everything I need and nothing that I don't.
How cool is this scene? Pullman, Washington State for the first time. We're in the middle of it right now. There's a sea of flags and people for as far as the eye can stretch. How much fun is this? Coming up on College Game Day, got exploding beer, flying pizza. It's the best of the worst. You had one job. Coming up, the fans here know how to hold a flag correctly. Alabama is beating Tennessee 11 in a row. They always enjoy those victory cigars. Maybe their new analyst, Butch Jones, will get to smoke a cigar at the end of the day. We'll see. And Lee Corso has put on the duck head 19 times. He's never put on Butch T. Cougar's head. Will today be the day? Headgear pick coming up. For Coach Corso trying to break that 4-game slide here, and I think he's getting a lot of support to move it in the direction of Mike Leach's team. You know what? We're having a great morning here in Pullman, but look, there's a Washington State watch party in Stockton, California. They're not the only Cougs getting together. How about there in Clarksville, Tennessee, all the way across the continent, and the Cougs are up this morning to show their support for Washington State. All of those Cougs, no matter where they are across the country, they know about the rich history of quarterbacks at this place. It's Coca-Cola Zero Sugar counting us down to kickoff. We get closer and closer to college football Saturday. I have no idea how long it is because the flags are blocking my view. I think it's like an hour and 40 minutes or something like that. I mentioned the quarterbacks. You got Jack Thompson, you got Ryan Leaf, got Gardner Minshew these days, and maybe the ultimate guy, the great Drew Bledsoe. First nearly 9,400 yards, 66 touchdowns, set all Washington State records while he was here. And Drew Bledsoe is going to join us to be the guest picker. And not only that, we want Drew to come out here and not experience the full Coug out here.
So good.
This place is really special, and we've seen the feeling of family that it has here. What does it mean to you to come back here and see all this?
Well, once you go to school here, you never really leave. You know, I mean, you're always a Coug, and it's so fun to come back and see these people who are so passionate no matter what. And now with the success the squad's having and having game day here, everybody's pretty fired up, man, and so am I.
What's been your take on watching this quarterback this year? He comes in and right away seems to have picked up this system. And when Mike Leach has a quarterback that can throw the ball and read these defenses, he's always got a chance. Have you been impressed?
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Gardner. Now, he had some background in the offense. The thing that's been so impressive to me, to come in as a grad transfer and immediately become a leader on this team.
Right.
I mean, imagine how hard that is to come in and you got guys that have been here for 3-4 years, and all of a sudden you got to lead them, and he's really become that guy.
Drew, you were a quarterback with exceptional talent. As a young man, what drew you to Pullman? What made you come to Washington State?
Well, come on, Daz, you're here now. I mean, how do you go anyplace else? Honestly, I grew up very close here, so that was part of it. But I had a special coach that recruited me, and Mike Price, and he really, Coach Price really. Yeah, he really brought me into the fold here, and it's felt like family since the first day I stepped on campus.
I think they're honoring Mike during the game today. We tried to get Mike to come out here and wave the flag or something. He ought to be out in the middle of this.
Coach Price is a little old. I mean, it's kind of early.
When you look at this game today, what's the biggest challenge for Washington State in dealing with Oregon's quarterback, Justin Herbert?
Well, Justin Herbert may be the most pro-ready quarterback I've seen in college since I started watching. And I didn't say I'm cheering for him. I just said he's talented. He's got some skills. He's a guy that has everything. He's very smart. He's got great anticipation, accuracy, touch. And, man, when he needs to throw the fastball, he's got a fastball. Yeah. So it's going to be a real challenge for the Cougs. We got to contain him. We got to cover his guys. We got to make a few plays. And if we can force him to run, that's not the best scenario, but it's better than having him standing back there slinging the ball around.
Wait, you said he had a fastball. Are you sure he didn't have a fireball?
Now, Reese, he went to Oregon. My favorite sign so far is that Oregon only tailgates for one day, and the Cougs have been going out for a few days. So let's go.
Hey, Drew is going to stick around and make some picks for us. Let's get a quick go Cougs. You give me go Cougs. Drew will be our celebrity guest picker, and I know that it looks as if every Washington State fan in the world is here, but there's one guy missing, and Gene Wojciechowski led an intensive manhunt for one Coug we can't find, Gino.
Reese, they've been playing football here for 123 seasons, which means Rose Bowl appearances, All-Americans, national rankings, as you mentioned, a conga line of great quarterbacks. But one of the most memorable moments in Wazoo football history came on September 28, 2013, and it came because of a guy who wasn't even wearing a Wazoo uniform. He will forever be known simply as Popcorn Guy.
Well, it is 10 o'clock on your Tuesday morning. Local sports talk with Steve Grubbs and Doug Taylor heading your way.
The search began in the rolling hills of the Palouse.
We're going to try and unravel and solve one of the greatest mysteries in sports. Do you remember back to Popcorn Guy? What was that? Was that 5 years ago?
No, I do remember Popcorn Guy. Tough game for the Cougs, and he was drowning himself in popcorn.
This guy. I mean, he wanted that popcorn, and he was going to enjoy every last kernel of that sucker.
Sasquatch, the Loch Ness Monster, Popcorn Guy. Mysterious figures whose legends grow in stature with the passing of time.
Became kind of an iconic figure, and in the midst of all the carnage, it was uplifting to see he was still having a good day.
in a strange and beautiful way, it was firm ownership of identity. He had a great sense of self. We all want to be able to reach that place in life where who really gives a
But who is Popcorn Guy? For years, it has been a question without an answer, a question that has consumed an entire country.
If you know who this man is, if you are this man, contact Lee Fitting on Twitter. Seriously, Game Day wants to do a feature on that guy. Somebody knows him. Make it happen.
Our search took us to the Washington State Student Union. Don't know if you have a moment, but we're trying to track down this guy. There's absolutely no reward involved. What did he do? Well, he mostly ate a lot of popcorn. We are desperately looking for this person. Do you know who this person is?
I wish I did.
Yeah?
He seems to be comfortable.
He seems to be very comfortable. Look, I want you to keep this.
Okay.
We went store to store, corner to corner, pole to pole on the streets of downtown Pullman. We took to the hills and fields. We tried facial recognition technology, but came up with "da Bears," not "da Cougs." We even tried local law enforcement.
He's definitely older than your typical college student, so probably in his mid-30s by now. We asked the public's help in helping to identify Popcorn Guy.
So we've reached over 25,000 people. It's been clicked 13,000 times. People are just going crazy.
So the search for Popcorn Guy lives on, and so does his legend.
As the years have gone on, I sort of like Popcorn Man, almost like there's a mythology to him and there's a superpower to him.
He's kind of a guardian angel to our program and has helped us to elevate to the point that we have over the years, and we couldn't have done it without him, and I would just want to thank him.
You know, thanks to a tip to the Pullman Police Department, we think we located Popcorn Guy. We reached out to him multiple times, but he chose not to respond, and that's okay. Maria, you were there on the sideline covering that game that night, so I hope you'll appreciate this gesture. Popcorn Guy, we salute you.
Oh, bury him! Bury him! Get it on top of him! Are we next? Are we next? Yeah, why not? Trash! We need trash!
Oh, man, thank you so much for doing that. Thank you. Oh, my God.
We need trash.
You our job today. You have one job. It's dedicated to the fans. Because
You can't talk with your mouth full.
Don't talk with your mouth full. Time for You Had One Job, presented by Geico, David. Let's go. It's all about fans, and we start with fans with food.
All right, what we got?
Angels in the outfield. Also, there's pizza being thrown in the outfield in this one.
Nice.
Can you see it? All right. Falls into the beer. Pizza comes out of nowhere because a fan is mad for some reason.
Yeah, why did you waste your pizza? It probably cost you like $7 for that slice of pizza.
Okay, so don't ever do that
Don't
again.
waste your food. Come on.
All right. First pitch from a fan. Boston Red Sox, you ready? Line it up and
Oh, God.
brain shot.
Just ball 4, ball 8, ball 16. Just a bit outside.
How about Atlanta? Let's take it to the A.
I got a different ball there.
Okay, we got another ball involved. Fan trying to dunk. Here we go. And you're...
Oh, you needed one of those mini hoops right there.
He needed like 6 trampolines. It didn't work out. All right, a Titan fan.
Wrong way.
He's trying
Flip
to get
that
his
over.
Titans up flag together. Check
Come
it
on,
out.
come
Okay,
on.
you're close.
Washington State fans could help them. They know how to build a flag. They need a better built flag.
You're so right.
I know.
All right, the last one. Stanford taking on Cal. Cal kept the ball alive. Stanford band didn't really realize it, so they came on the field.
Should have made a tackle.
This is what you don't want to do, okay? don't have your band making tackles for you at the end of the game.
Well, the band should have made some tackles. Maybe that would have helped them with the outcome, but.
Wow.
Are you picking up popcorn off the. Oh.
I am. I'm still eating the popcorn. Never forget that happened. We made a huge mess, Reese. I don't know what your set's looking like, but
you ate that off the.
Maria, it's a complete disaster. By the way, I want to mention that Gene is getting an Edward R. Murrow Award, not for the popcorn thing, but Washington State alum, too. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar counting us down to kickoff in Fort Worth. Oklahoma is in the house. OU and TCU coming up in just under 90 minutes at noon on ESPNU, Cincinnati and Temple.
The Cincinnati Bearcats trying to keep that unbeaten record alive. Going to be tough today against Temple. Luke Fickell getting both boys ready.
They've got a really, really stout defense, but Temple has played much, much better. There is Shea Cummings, this week's Home Depot Tailgate Pro winner from Capstone Construction. Knows his stuff when it comes to college football and tailgating. What a scene here in Pullman. Be a great day at Clemson, too. 3:30 Eastern Time. It's on ESPN, streaming live on the app. Undefeated Wolfpack, undefeated Tigers. That's Power 5 conference with multiple undefeated teams. Martin Stadium's going to be alive. We're going to go to Baton Rouge, too. Coach O's going to be mic'd up for us.
Put your outside foot back. 1, 2, 3, slant. Outside foot back. Third step.
See how O coaches, they get ready for Mississippi State in 217 straight shows. Old Crimson has been flying at game day. Tom Rinaldi with the origin, how it started, and how it's become a staple of the show as well. And still to come here on College Game Day, our Pizza Hut home team fans. Everybody stay tuned.
From the Cougs aboard the USS Carl Vinson.
We couldn't be more excited. Game day is coming to Pullman.
We spent 15 years bringing Old Crimson to you. We couldn't be more proud that Old Crimson finally found its way back home.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to be there, but we'll be pulling for the Cougs at sea.
And Coach Corso, you better not be pulling any funny business with that old duckhead.
Go, Navy! Go!
We got the warning from the Cougs right there. You know what? There are great alums, all walks of life here. Keith Jackson all for excellence in communication, because all of us that broadcast college football, we're just following in the footsteps and trying to honor this man's legend. Remember when he got to call his alma mater in the Rose Bowl?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Here they come with reversing the ball. It's Sean Pims into the corner. Touchdown! They started on the 1-yard line, fumbled the football, recovered it on the 2, and now they've just stuck it in the end zone.
Oh, look at that. It was a day of celebration. Congratulations on that, by the way.
Whoa, Nelly about that. All right.
I'll tell you what, it's great. We have Lee Corso, who's done so much in broadcasting for this sport here on the campus where Keith Jackson is an alum, too. And we try to honor the great Keith Jackson every week with our coverage of this sport that he loved. Tiger Stadium tonight, Mississippi State and LSU. Boy, the Bayou Bengals coming off a great win. And Joe Burrow, what a hero's walk after LSU beat Georgia.
Burrow follows behind Cushenberry. Touchdown, Tigers!
What an incredible win for LSU.
You know, it felt great. Kind of just soaked it all in. You just beat number 2 team in the country. We got the job done in pretty dominant fashion, and that was just kind of soaking it all in.
Thank you. Hey, remember I told you thank you.
The fan base has been great to me so far, both back home and here, and I couldn't have asked for a better situation for myself. It's exceeded all of my expectations.
Well, you think this one might carry a little weight for Joe tonight? His grandfather was a terrific point guard at Mississippi State back in the day, and his grandmother was a high school basketball legend. She averaged 54 a game.
Are you serious?
Dot Ford once put up 82 in a game. By the way, they're not going to fill it up. Not going to the game tonight, but they will be watching their grandson as he leads LSU against Mississippi State, and then the off week coming against Alabama. Big opportunities coming for the Bayou Bengals. Bengals. You know, Burrow's numbers are really less than eye-popping, but he makes clutch plays, clutch throws against Auburn, game-winning drive, converted 3 fourth downs against Georgia. And this game tonight against Mississippi State's pocket-wrecking defensive front is made for him. It's a bloody-nose type of game, just the way Coach O likes it.
Finish to the goal. Rush your technique. There you go. Let him go out there. You got a strain to get down low. Let's go. He got to feel you coming this way. Good. That's it. That's it. Now. Ball's here. Okay, I got a reach block. Like Pete Shan. Cross his face. Set. Set.
Look at this beauty right here that LSU is going to wear tonight.
As a fan.
Yeah,
nice.
You want to I want to tell you about this spot while you start. I want to tell you about this paint job. They're saying that costs like $1,500 a gallon because it's going to change colors.
Wow.
How about that? That's amazing.
That's
awesome, man.
This LSU team has been tested. They got tested again last week against Georgia. They answered the bell. The big thing for them is not looking to 2 weeks down the road when they have Alabama. This is going to be a low-scoring game. Mississippi State leads the nation in scoring defense. It's going to be tough on Joe Burrow. I think LSU, just a team that just keeps going and going, they get it done. It's a close game, low-scoring. Give me the Tigers.
Yeah, Bulldogs like win the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
As you said, running the ball and defense. They're number one in the nation in scoring defense, and they're number one in the SEC yards per carry.
Yeah.
Low-scoring game. LSU.
Yeah, defensive struggle, I think. But you know what? LSU's defense is going to have to contend with the number one rushing offense in the SEC. When you look at the Bulldogs, they're going to run a lot of zone read with their quarterback and their running back, Kylan Hill. Now, Nick Fitzgerald is a guy who's not going to beat you with his arm. But when it comes to the zone read, look at the mesh point right here with the running back. He's looking at the inside linebacker. He's so wide, Nick decides to carry the ball. He's not very nimble, but he's very efficient, good runner, always going north and south, and he will break tackles. And now this play right here, athletes in the backfield, you got Kylan Hill averaging 7 yards per carry. Another zone read. Nick does a really good job at the mesh point trying to determine where the defender is. And then when you couple Kylan's good vision with his lateral cutting ability, makes him a very dangerous running back. And then they're going to hit LSU with the RPOs. Now this has zone read principles. This guy has the running back. So Nick is out in the open by himself. The safety comes up. It's an RPO. So what does he do? He throws the ball. An RPO is designed that no matter what happens defensively, LSU cannot be right. Going up against this Bulldogs offense, I like LSU's chances because last week they played another group of Bulldogs and held them to 113 yards on the ground. So I like LSU in a close one.
Yeah. You know, Joe Moorhead says he's got to get Nick Fitzgerald some confidence in those run-pass options. They're going to do some max protect tonight to try to get something going a little bit in the passing game. That'll be a good one in the SEC, big one for LSU. Third Saturday in October means light up the stogies for the Crimson Tide. They've beaten Tennessee 11 straight. It's a secondary NCAA violation, but when you win this game, you get the celebratory cigar. And Alabama has owned this. Now Tua, they said he's been 100% in practice this week. You know, he tweaked that knee. Yeah. Here's a quick question for you. Alabama on the first drive's average scoring in less than 4 plays in less than 90 seconds. You taking the over-under before they get on the board against Tennessee today?
I'm taking the over.
Over?
I'm taking the over, yeah.
Right, so you think there's some trouble for the Tide today, man?
I do. You know, I have a real big problem with Tua's knee. I mean, when this guy slides and then he tweaks it again, I think that's going to be a real concern moving forward. I would not be surprised if that knee gives out on him at some point.
Wow, that'd be huge, obviously, if it did. I'm hearing it's okay. We'll see how it plays out. I think for Tennessee, they're coming into this game at the right time. Their quarterback, Jarrett Garantano, really grew up, I think, last week, going to Jordan-Hare. Tough game against a tough defense. And really, there was one drive that stood out to me that I think shows you where Garantano is growing as a quarterback. He's a 5-star, all-world quarterback. But he's just been, you know, it's a first-year starter, been slow to eventually find some big success. It's an example. It's his 2nd and 13. Sees a linebacker go deep, take the tailback Ty Chandler because of 2 deep safeties. So the linebacker goes deep. Instead of forcing the ball, scrambles, takes off, picks up 12 yards, steps up a 3rd and 2. Manageable. They are able to execute. They pick up the first down. This is the same drive. Now here's a 3rd and 10. He's going to throw the fade to Juwan Jennings down at the bottom.
but before he does, he gets undercut right there. But the fact that he kept his eyes downfield shows you where this guy is growing as a quarterback and makes that big throw downfield to be able to keep that drive alive. Look at the score, 17-13. Now it's 3rd and 10. They're getting close to the red zone. Safety comes on the blitz. Instead of panicking, instead of pulling away, again, he's able to find Jennings. High points the ball, gets it up in the air with a 6'3". Jennings can come up with it. Tennessee scores, goes on to win. So when you look at Jennings and Callaway and Ty Chandler and now the quarterback Garantano, offensive line, this Tennessee team, I'm just saying up to this point, in my opinion, with a rivalry game, we have nothing to lose. Toughest battle that Alabama will have up to this point will be today in Knoxville. They're going to win.
Yeah.
But they're going to be tested.
My only concern about Alabama being so good, they're not going to be tested before the playoffs, and somebody is going to sneak up in the playoffs because of that. Now, in my opinion, only 2 football teams got a chance to get them. Ohio State and Clemson. They both throw the ball. They can beat Alabama throwing the football.
That's a long way down the road.
Yeah.
If they get there. Vols today are going to be without Daniel Batuli in the first half because of a targeting penalty. Kongbo lost in the ACL. And Butch Jones, former Tennessee head coach, Alabama analyst, going to be in Neyland Stadium and might get to light the stove before he's stolen.
These guys in a couple weeks may test old Alabama. I mean,
you think?
They will test them down in Death Valley. This pretty helmet right here may test them.
Go Tide, roll Tide, roll Tide.
All right. Well, we might get a chance to say that in front of all those you bangers down there. You never know. Coming up noon Eastern time, immediately following game day. Howdy toddy. Coach Zero Sugar counting us down to kickoff inside an hour and 15 until Auburn and Ole Miss square off. Auburn has been in the empty elevator shaft. Gus, remarkably, after that 7-year, $49 million contract, somehow is already getting questions about, hey, coaching for your job. And the most ridiculous thing you'll find, it seems, but you never know.
Auburn, my friend. It's Auburn.
It's Auburn. It'll happen. It'll happen.
Take 49.
Hey, how about Reese's go for 2 in the SEC this week?
I know Vanderbilt, Kentucky. Kentucky dejected after that tough overtime loss against A&M, but they're going to bounce back. Vandy looked good against the Gators for a while, but then they ran out of gas. I think that Kentucky's going to have a resounding win today over Vandy.
How about Auburn and Ole Miss? Just talked about Gus Malzahn feeling the pressure. Can this Auburn offense get going? They just continue to make mistakes. Ole Miss, the good news is, giving up a lot of yards through the air, so Stidham should have an opportunity to make plays. But Ole Miss, we know, guys, can score. They can really get after this Auburn defense and get the ball thrown downfield. You just wonder at this point if Auburn still cares.
Yeah.
They're 4-3.
Exactly.
They had such big goals this year.
Yeah.
Do they still care? Are they still invested? I think Ole Miss is going to get them today at home.
Yeah. You think Ole Miss getting them?
Yeah.
Right, from the top 10 to the Tennessee upset, Rock Italian is in a free fall. They can't win the football, and they're having turnover problem.
Yeah.
When you look at the schedule, I'm not sure they're going to get to a bowl game.
Talking about Auburn.
Auburn. Yeah, you're right.
So you think they lose today? Quick pick.
Quick pick. Win.
Gonna win.
You got them winning? No, I have Ole Miss winning at home.
I got Ole Miss. I just wonder again how much Auburn is still.
Yeah, he may lose his team.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Might have lost them.
Yeah. We'll see today. I got one more quick one here. Vandy, Kentucky. Problems for the Cats, real quick.
I got Kentucky there.
Kentucky.
I got Kentucky.
Yeah, they said they were ticked off after that loss to Texas A&M. They had a week to stew on it, too. And the Cats right in the middle of that SEC East race as well. What a scene here in Pullman this morning, the campus in Washington State. They have many loyal friends and alums and donors. Friends, Paul Allen, the co-founder of Microsoft, Seahawks and Trailblazers owner, he passed away this week. Had a huge impact here. He was a friend. He donated $26 million for the Global Animal Health School. And, of course, we also take this opportunity to remember Tyler Helinski, Cougar quarterback who was a victim of suicide this spring. That number 3 flag for Helinski's hope we've seen many times, aimed at raising mental awareness for Division I athletes. It's a fixture here, and we offer our support to Tyler's friends and family. We've seen great support for this school, the program, and the flag exemplified by the number of people who waved Old Crimson.
Being able to see Old Crimson flying on the game day set 216 times in a row is truly a source of pride.
This flag is a celebrity.
It's been to more places and done more things than most people get to do in their lifetime.
Wherever you happen to be around the world or around the country, you carry a little piece of Pullman with you.
I've been traveling with this little boat flag this entire year.
I've gone to 12 college game days overall.
I have waved Old Crimson 10 times.
I've been a flag waver at 21 times. Everywhere I go, they treat me like rock stars.
Waving the flag at game day was really special for me because I know that no matter where I go or where I am, I always be part of the Coug family.
Old Crimson is as much a part of game day now as Lee Corso using a mascot head to make his picks.
Being able to be a part of that as an official flag waver is one of my favorite experiences that I've ever had.
Go Cougs!
I'm proud of Old Crimson. So much so that I decided, you know what? I'm going to wear it to work today as a cape. Might not be the most work-appropriate attire, but I don't care.
And you know who's waving that flag, fellas? Who's that? Craig McDonald. This is the 30th time that he's been the flag waver. He is the all-time leader.
That's 30th time. Now, congratulations.
That's pretty cool.
Good for him. Congratulations.
Man, there's some creativity at work out there, perhaps fueled by fireballs, little late night meal with the Coug, got those creative juices going. Let's check out the most creative signs, at least the ones that we're allowed to show. You know what? Corso said this. Oh, you're right.
About time.
There you go. About time.
Long way to go, but it's worth it.
You know what the greatest thing is? They've promised that the streak doesn't stop here. We'll have 218 next week, they said.
Oh, really?
They promised.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Keep it going.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
And we like to keep it that way.
Hey, let's keep it that way. Hey, Mike, we're going to visit with Mike Leach later. He has all kinds of stuff. You know what the funny thing about that side? That's true. Gardner Minshew was on his way from East Carolina to Alabama.
Hey, look at that.
And then Gardner's grandpa showed him how to grow a mustache here, and the mustache has become an icon.
What was your reaction when you heard that game day was coming to Pullman?
Well, I was in the middle of carving a mustache into a pumpkin. I was trying, and I had the aviators on and the mustache and soul patch. It was the best pumpkin I've seen this year.
Gardner Minshew's mustache, it's iconic. You're rolling with him anywhere on campus, people just recognize him.
Gardner's mustache. If I focus just on the mustache, I can't help but think a leisure suit, 70s, disco era, that type of thing.
People are going crazy for it. I'm kind of stuck with it now. It's getting pretty gnarly, but you know, what are you going to do? Give people what they want, I guess. So.
Looks like he's auditioning for American Hustle or something.
I think there was some innuendo there that perhaps some independent film work might be in the future if we continue with the mustache. You never know, right?
Oh, man.
Oh, you know what these people love to see? What happens about 5 hours down the road in Husky Stadium in Seattle. Where the old Buffs roll in at 5-1 Washington off that heartbreaking loss to the Ducks.
Yeah, heartbreaking loss from Colorado, too. They lost to the men of Troy. USC beat up on them pretty well last week and really put that offense to shame, that high-scoring offense. But how about Washington? Overtime loss to Oregon. You know, not only does it take a lot out of you physically, but it drains you emotionally, too. I know you guys are really sad to see Washington lose that game against the Ducks like that, huh?
Here's this USC team against Utah. USC on the road. Here comes the Musk. Tough to go to Salt Lake City. JT Daniels going to look to try to make some big plays downfield to St. Brown, freshman to freshman. But this Utah defense, guys, man, typical of Utah. Playing great, very physical. Going to try to get some pressure. And I'll tell you, Tyler Huntley playing a lot better at quarterback. You wonder if that's him improving or the opponent that they play.
Yeah. A combination of both. I tell you what, this Colorado game, I want to see if they can bounce back. And you look at Washington, not only did they lose that game, but they lost some players too. They're going to come in pretty beat up. Miles Gaskin has a shoulder. He's going to go, but he's beat up. And then Salvin Ahmed, the running back, has a bad knee. So, interesting game today between
Who you got? Say
I
it.
got to go to Fighting Fowlers of Colorado.
Oh, no.
Washington.
He's going with Washington.
I'm going with Washington.
He's going with Washington.
Because Colorado's beat up at wide receiver, Chanel.
I'm not sure he's going to play.
McIntyre, also an issue. They got issues at wide receiver.
Wow.
So I'm going with the Huskies in that defense.
Yeah, but Utah is the #1 defensive team in the Pac-12 and all the major categories. And they got a great kicking game.
Yeah.
Utah is tough to beat. They'll beat SC at home.
You know, you may come out of that game with the winner being in the Pac-12 championship game, maybe against the winner of this game.
You're right.
Washington State and Oregon today. You know, UCLA plays Arizona. Just a note, Rhett Rodriguez, the son of Rich Rod, the former Arizona head coach, going to get a start with Khalil Tate hurting as Chip Kelly and the fellas try to win 2 in a row. That will be a decidedly less raucous atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. Washington.
Huskies.
I won't even bother to start singing "Bow Down to Washington." I don't know what's wrong with these guys. I have no idea. I don't know what's wrong with these guys. Oh, we got the Pizza Hut traditions, Pizza Hut game day traditions, Old Crimson's journey. It started in Austin, Texas, and a couple of weeks later, the streak started in Madison, Wisconsin. And here we are, 217 shows later. It's been to 61 schools, 15 sites. Culminating with finding its way back home, and what a story it has been as Tom Rinaldi joins us to chronicle the journeys of the flag. Tom.
Flags, Reese. The flag has played an indelible role in moments throughout history. When we think of the United States Marines lifting Old Glory on Iwo Jima, when we think of Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong planting the American flag on the surface of the moon, we always pay great tribute to Old Glory. But here, for this one day, the spotlight belongs to Old Crimson. It has been planted in the heart of College Game Day for a decade and a half through one man's vision and his sewing machine. How does tradition happen? In this case, stitch by stitch. Tom Pounds, a Washington State alum, first flew his flag, now known as Old Crimson, October 4th, 2003.
Well, howdy from the capital city of Texas, inside the Austin city limits, next to Darrell K. Royal Memorial Stadium.
I just happened to be in Austin, Texas. I'm almost 6'7" in shoes and about 240 pounds. I did get a lot of strange looks. I did not fear for bodily harm, and I flew the flag. That's how it started.
Pound's simple expression of school spirit took off with other alumni, and 2 weeks later at Wisconsin, a streak was born. The dedication never wavered, per se, even as the Cougars had the worst winning percentage of all Power 5 programs as the streak continued.
At Washington State, the pride endures. I mean, they may have the worst team in the history of the Pac-10, and we don't throw that out there lightly, but every week, for the 74th straight week, behind us here at Game Day, some Washington State alum or fan is waving the flag proudly.
Tom was working hard to find volunteers, but part of the logistics is getting the flag from point A to point B.
So the Old Crimson Booster Club was created, with a database now counting nearly 2,500 across 4 time zones, to finance and fast-track getting the flag from one place to the next. Despite the planning, there have been challenges. Like November 2012, the USS San Diego getting the flag onto a secure, active naval vessel.
That was a fun one. I think we tried to see if we could get it to fly on the ship's mast, but the Navy didn't agree to that for some reason. I don't know what the problem was.
Or October 2013, taking it to enemy territory in Seattle.
I never promoted violence. All I offered is $100 for somebody to take down that flag.
Wazoo flag brought in a limo by John Bly. They vowed to not let this happen.
Or September 2015 in Tucson, when the flag was nearly lost.
A game day staple went missing.
The flags got stuck in Mississippi, and we couldn't get them out. We actually flew a guy out of Pullman on an overnight just to make sure.
15 years later and counting, Old Crimson still flies high, stitched across time.
It's just a joy to do. It's a joy to see what I had started. I'm proud to be a Washington State alum, and I'm proud to show it.
I don't necessarily see an end in sight. This is about being a Cougar. And so as long as we can wave the flag, we're going to wave the flag.
And this is the Godfather. And what he holds right here with him is the original very first flag. Herb Street's signature, Lee Corso, Chris Fowler. And as you see what he has created, the hundreds and then thousands in the database, all owed to one man whose two favorite words are, we can all say it together, go Cougs! Tom Pounds, Reese, the Godfather.
That's what he is, Tommy. Tom, thanks for doing that, man. I gotta tell you, I know it's become a labor of love, but how cool is it? He just wanted to keep doing it. Look, they're waving the flags over in the RVs. Everywhere. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, so you can get a high view of the flag.
People asked us all week about this story, and that was a perfect job, again, by Tommy of letting everybody know why we're out here and enjoying this.
That gave me an idea for the end of the show.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, really?
Maybe.
Don't foreshadow. Execute it. Hey, Maria, you got a Pizza Hut hometown fan there?
I sure do, Reese. And this is a special Pizza Hut home team fan. Travis Crawford is a Navy veteran whose last day in uniform was October 4th, and you drove over 2,000 miles from Virginia Beach to be here when game day showed up at Washington State. Talk me through the process and when you realized you were making that trip.
So the tweet went out from game day last Saturday, and a buddy of mine used to be in the Marine Corps, Jeffrey Moan, sent me a message, said, get your stuff, get here. It was about 5 seconds, and I was plotting and figuring the whole thing out. And a day or two later, I was running.
All right, well, thank you for making the trip. Thank you for your service. And for one time, can we get a Go Cougs for these fans to get excited about?
Go Cougs!
Thank you, Travis. Represents everything that it means to be a Cougar here at Washington State. Plenty more as College Game Day rolls on.
On Saturday night.
The scene continues in the final hour of game day. We should have done a 5-hour show this morning. Look at, our director, Rodney Perez, is giving you all kinds of great looks today and his long fly cam run to give you the up-top perspective. Look at the bug. All cooled out, ready to go.
That's that cranking in the background.
Yeah, you see some of these RVs in the background. They use them for just the home games. In many cases, they store them here. Let them wait. ACC is the only Power 5 conference with 2 unbeaten. They'll meet in the Textile Bowl in Death Valley, NC State and Clemson. Ryan Finley's been pressured on just 1% of his dropbacks this season. That's second best in the country. And down the hill comes that Clemson front. Leads the nation in quarterback pressure and quarterback contact. So Finley's life is about to get a lot more hectic, but this Wolfpack quarterback is a voracious reader of philosophy. He quotes Buddha, so he should know that chaos is inherent in all compounded things. Strive on with diligence. We'll have to strive on with diligence to snap a 13-game losing streak against top 5 opponents.
2 undefeated teams, 2 division opponents.
2 teams that are playing for the right to control their own destiny on this side of the division.
Here comes Farrell right in his face. Here they come again. It's stuffed.
Defensively, they live in people's backfields.
It's going to be a battle in the trenches. It all starts up front.
Lobbing for Harmon. Caught it. Touchdown.
I like having a senior quarterback against a freshman as good as their freshman is.
This quarterback is a pro. All right, he is a legit pro. I don't know when he's going to be drafted, but it'll be early.
I feel like we're the best offense in the country. When we're flowing and we're playing with rhythm and we're playing with tempo and we're executing and doing our job, I don't think there's anybody better.
Tigers have won 13 of 14 in this rivalry. I mentioned the 13-game road losing streak against top 5 opponents from North Carolina State. They think they're a different type of team. Can handle the Clemson offense?
I tell you what, I like this North Carolina State team. You know, the game earlier against West Virginia was canceled, so we didn't get a chance to see them in that game. But I still like what I see. But this test today is going to be about the quarterback for Clemson, Trevor Lawrence. Now, his first start, Syracuse, knocked out of the game with a head injury, and they played Wake Forest, and they just demolished Wake Forest. But they ran the ball a lot against them. I think ran for like 471 yards that day. NC State's defense is number 2 in the conference, only yielding less than 17 points per contest. I think their defense is going to force Trevor Lawrence to finally try to go out there and make some plays with his arm and then see what type of leadership he has. So this is going to be a big test, in my opinion, for Clemson.
Des, as you know, the last couple years, this has been a big test for Clemson.
Exactly.
I mean, 2 years ago, NC State went into Death Valley, outplayed them, had a chance to win the game. Last year, Finley had the ball, threw a pick late. So I think they come into this game thinking that they can win. But one thing they got to be ready for, to me, is this Travis Etienne. He was a true freshman last year and just explosive. Now he's really evolving and becoming a more complete back. Of course, when you load up the box, you put one extra guy. What do great backs do? They make that 7th defender miss, and he can do that with lateral quickness and acceleration. It's as unique as anybody in the country. Last 4 games, averaging almost 11 yards a carry. The vision and the patience is where he's gotten better. Here, bounces this back to the outside.
How do you do that?
I don't know. That's a video game move right there. And here's the other thing, the patience and waiting for you got a counter here with a backside H and a tackle coming around. Last year he was just taken off and run. This time he allows the blocks to be set. Then he accelerates and picks up big yards. And this is the physicality in the weight room, running through arm tackles, not just being a fast guy. That's why he's becoming one of the best backs in college football. And then, of course, he still has that ability to make you miss after he pulls through that arm tackle. So NC State guys, their numbers are better. They broke in they have 9 new starters on defense. Remember Bradley Chubb in that group last year? All gone. Entire new front 7. Their numbers this year are better than last year. Dave Doran's an exceptional defensive head coach. I'll say this, though. We don't know how good they are. Today we find out Clemson takes care of business at home. They respect NC State.
I like that guy. I like Travis. I'm surprised he's not getting more Heisman consideration. He's on my short list for the Heisman. He really is.
It's coming.
Real.
It is. And I know they lost a lot of guys, and we don't know a lot about NC State, but one thing that's really clear when you turn on the tape, exceptionally disciplined, really tough. They do a great job. They understand exactly who they are. They maximize who they are. And if you watch right here, this is a tough play. This is a reverse. Watch everybody. Look at the defensive end on the left side. Slide down. Backer knows exactly what's coming. I turn the ball back inside to my help. Everybody understanding where I'm supposed to be, and they play with great effort to the football. A couple guys you're going to get to know. James Smith-Williams, one of the best pass rushers in the country. You look at production-wise. Watch this bull rush right here. Get you some of that. He can beat you with, he can get you with speed, and then he puts some face and hands on you. Drew a holding call there. Clemson's tackles better be ready for the pass rush. And then one of the best linebackers in the country, Jermaine Pratt. Just watch this. Plays the run inside first, and just watch the speed. You got to chase around Travis Etienne all day. You better have dudes that can do it. Pratt can do it. One of the best linebackers I've seen on tape in the country. And NC State's got their hands full, but their offense and their defense both, I think, can make some plays. I think this will be a really close game, but I think that Clemson will win in the end.
Bears got this one on the board here.
I don't think Bear agrees with you.
I don't think anybody agrees. I think everybody thinks this is going to be a curb stomping.
I think a lot of people think it's going to be a really close game because of the last 2 years, and I disagree. I think lost with all of the Kelly Bryant transferring, Trevor Lawrence is hurt, they nearly lost at A&M. People are forgetting the side of the fact that they still lead the nation in defensive efficiency. They still get after the quarterback at an unbelievable high rate. And I'm glad you guys talked about Etienne because I think if Tua is a little nicked up and maybe Ohio State suffers, Etienne could easily be divided to New York. I think the number is telling you again here with Clemson being such a big favorite.
They're begging you to take NC State, right?
You go back to 1994. The last 8 times you've had a team that was 5-0 or better on the road as a 14-point dog or more, none of those 8 teams covered. They've all been blowouts. The number is begging you to take NC State. Clemson's the better team because of the last 2 years. Clemson wins big today.
Wow. Here's one thing that we don't know about Clemson. They played a lot of option teams, so their numbers are deflated. They've struggled in the passing game when they had Syracuse, Texas A&M early in the season. Finley's going to get his.
But those are quarterbacks that can move around, too, and buy time a little bit. Finley's a little bit more of a statue back there. I don't know if he can buy time. I think that pressure could get to him.
They've got Harmon. They've got big-time receivers, too. It ought to be a great game to watch this afternoon. See who's going to continue to move on, remain undefeated. North Carolina State and Clemson, 3:30 Eastern Time, ESPN. And also on the app.
Is that a onesie? They're both in onesies?
Well, you know,
I think they are.
Coop family's tight. You remember when I told you guys that all the quiet stuff between Michigan and Michigan State, and I knew they still hated each other?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Watch this. This morning in East Lansing.
What is that?
Looks like a beautiful.
They do that every game. Arm in arm.
Yeah. Michigan players are out there, so they're not going to back off of this.
They just walked right through them, didn't they?
Went through. Now look at Devin Bush.
Wow.
He's stomping all over Spartan logo.
See, save it for the field. Save it for the field, right?
To me, you're Michigan. You're above that.
Save that for the field. Let's come on.
You're Michigan. Go in and take
Devin
care of
Bush. Let your play speak for itself.
Remember a few years ago they brought a steak in, and now they're kicking the logo. Just go win. That's what Michigan does.
Business. Yeah.
They do.
I agree with you, but it's really entertaining. It's really entertaining video. It's great video.
It is.
So somebody needs to keep it up.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. You don't have Michigan State on the board, Bear, but you do have Ohio State and Purdue, another Big Ten game.
He already got. He's
got that.
He's got that.
Okay, you got that. Okay.
I'll tell you what. This game, I think Michigan State's a really public type underdog, but it's hard not to like Michigan State with how D'Antonio's 10-1 against a number of 8 outright wins. And before last week, I thought you could argue that Michigan State was the most disappointing team in the country. Yeah. You pull a big upset last week, you pull another one today. The narrative of your season
totally
changes in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Hey, you're right about that. That's what winning does, though.
Well, you know, it just hurt too. L.J. Scott is in uniform for Michigan State.
He's in warm-ups.
And
it's Rashawn Gary in uniform. That's what I need to know, Rashawn Gary.
One thing that's really important about this matchup, just like last week, Penn State, Michigan State faked 2 kicks. Okay. They can do that again. They have nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. That's what
they
can
absolutely. Bear, you got to promise me one word. $5 bits of broken chair trophy, Minnesota, Nebraska. Who's got it? Real quick. One word.
It's nearly been a year since Nebraska won their last game.
One word. Cut it.
Nebraska wins.
Nebraska wins.
I got Nebraska.
Nearly a year since Nebraska's won a game. Penn State trying to bounce back against Indiana.
I got Scotty Frost.
Plenty in the Big Ten. You got Scotty Frost?
Yeah, I got Scotty Frost.
Week after Chip Kelly gets a win, we'll see if Frost is able to beat Row the Boat.
Countdown to kickoff is brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar.
Pizza Hut fan cam getting a workout. Dealing with this crowd. Are you guys good at guesstimating numbers? Have any idea? What do you think?
Oh my gosh.
Biggest crowd in my 4 years on the show easily.
Yeah, it's 20,000 maybe?
20,000?
That's what I'm guessing.
I would think at least they thought it would be that many or more. Of course, the guy that was responsible a ton of this is Mike Leach. Has his team with just one loss. Visited with Mike up in his office yesterday. You know, a lot of times when whether we talk to you or you're in a news conference, you'll talk about different subjects. Why do you like to do that?
Really to just keep myself interested. You know, I'm curious about a lot of things, but then the other thing is you know, I want to keep my own interests and education up, so try to see what I can learn myself.
I know you've tried to separate a little bit all of the fanfare that's gone with College Game Day coming here and the fans being excited. Seeing this type of enthusiasm about your team, your program, this university, what does it do for you?
It's always exciting. I mean, we already have that kind of enthusiasm and pride in our program ourselves, so you know, we're just glad to have more people that agree with us. You've got all kinds of stuff in the office. What's your favorite piece in all of your office? One that gets a lot of attention, of course, is the Cougar. Well, I like that. The pirate over here who talks, Bobby Knight and Pat Knight, gave me this right here. What is it that you can learn from leaders in various walks of life and various pages of history that help a football coach? Well, it reinforces that there's adversity that has to be outlasted. they realize something, generally speaking, just a core philosophy that kind of guides them through that you can share by trying to do it yourself or with your players.
But everything is not shallow musings or a laughing matter to Mike Leach, who's always up for a good conspiracy story. In the wee hours this morning, Yahoo Sports broke the story revealing text between Leach and Pac-12 officials. This in the aftermath after the disputed overturned targeting call in the USC game, which kept the Cougars from having a better opportunity perhaps to win the game. Leach blistered Woody Dixon, the conference executive reported to have influenced replay officials in overturning that call. Leach texted Dixon and said he was a coward who was afraid of USC. He also questioned the Pac-12's commitment to player safety. In other words, he was reflecting that swing your sword mentality. One of the big things he's emphasizing with his players in this game today, want the play to come to you. And when Justin Herbert's on the other side, you better be ready for it to come to you.
Time. He throws a bullet. Touchdown. This is a dime.
I'm not sure words could explain how good Justin could be. And I know I might receive some flack, but he definitely can be up there with Tom Brady. And hopefully one day he can be one of those guys.
I think just with the guys that I have playing receiver, having confidence in them and the running backs, I think they make my job a lot easier.
Herbert's a stud, so, we just got to force him to make mistakes, and I think we can do that.
Their defense is very challenging because they move like crazy. They're playing at a really high level. We have our work cut out for us, and something that we're looking forward to.
Oregon is always a tough opponent. We beat them the last 3 times, and we want to beat them this time.
The 3-game winning streak against the Ducks. Washington State's averaged 43 points per game. Now Gardner Minshew leads the nation in passing yardage. And Leach told me yesterday the one thing he's been most impressed with, and Drew Bledsoe said this too, the way he's adapted to the team.
You know this from following Mike Leach throughout his career. You watch college football nowadays, and every week you watch games and offenses, and everybody marvels at the quarterbacks in the Big 12. The guy that really helped start that is the head coach here at Washington State. And when he has a quarterback that has the ability to read coverage and make throws, then he's going to put a lot of points on the board, at least 40 points a game, and that's what they've done up to this point. And there's a few reasons. One of the founding fathers of the modern era of college football, they stretch defenses out like you see all over the country, but it starts with Mike Leach. His quarterbacks understand how to attack the middle if you play zone. They find the soft spot here, 2 safeties split, find that area in the middle, and try to attack it. Okay, Oregon says we're going to blitz. We're going to play some man-to-man. Quarterback has the answers for that. They find one-on-one matchups. His quarterback, Minshew, has the ability to throw accurately downfield. It's the other area that I think Oregon's got to be careful of today. Finding, again, the matchup. Where can we exploit a secondary player? They want to go after the safety here. Give him 2 players to have to deal with. He takes the receiver to the outside and opens up the post there, and he throws it on a line to give his receiver a chance, and then run after the catch is such an important part of this offense. Oregon's defense is the best defense. Jim Leavitt has an attacking style and mentality, and this defense is really bought into this, Des. I cannot wait to see that matchup with Jim Leavitt, who's a great coach, who has a team believing in his scheme against this offense and scoring at will right now.
About a month ago, we were up in Eugene, and I did a tape on Justin Herbert and how, I think he's going to be the first player in the NFL draft. But I think this Oregon offense is bigger than Justin Herbert. They have a running game. They got some receivers. Let me show you what the Cougars are going to have to deal with when the Ducks coming to Martin Stadium this afternoon. How about running back C.J. Verdell? He's a freshman, but they like to use him in the piston. You know why? Because he's best going downhill in between the tackles. 5'9", 202 pounds, averaging 5.4 yards a carry. But this guy makes the offense run. He sets up the play action passes, which you'll see later. But you can't play running back in this offense unless you can pass pro. Running backs coach Jim Mastro loves Verdell's ability to pick up the blitz. So then you have a special special quarterback like Herbert throwing to a guy down the field like Dylan Mitchell. Dylan Mitchell's become his favorite target. In the last 3 games, he's averaging 54 receiving yards per contest. Look at him right here. He does a really good job of reading the coverages. And then you got Justin Herbert throwing the ball. It's always going to land in the breadbasket. This offense is much more than Justin Herbert. You have Dylan Mitchell. You have C.J. Verdell. This group, they're number 1 in the conference in scoring, Coach, averaging 43 points a game. It's going to be a shootout, man.
Yeah. Washington State has won 10 straight at home. 10 straight games.
What?
They won 10 straight, and one of the main reasons is their defense.
Yeah.
Their Deacon play defense.
Okay.
Now, they come all over. They're swarming defense. Now, they lead the Pac-12 in sacks. Why? Watch them. They never give up. They go after the guy, and they stay until they get him down. Now, watch this one. Oh, watch this one. They're all coming.
Everybody's coming.
Everybody's coming. Go get them. And they lead the Pac defense. They lead the Pac-12 in pass defense. Now, there's important points. The reason why I'm showing this, because the Ducks love to win. They love to throw.
Oh, yeah.
And to stop the throw, you sack the quarterback and you stop the passing game. That's what they do best.
Top Pac-12 pass defense. Tracy Claeys, the defensive coordinator, former Minnesota coach, doing a great job with them. Bear, how would you play this one?
I think the week off will help Washington State. I think the fact Oregon had an emotional comeback against the rival, I think the Cougs will win tonight.
Are you serious?
There you go, Bear. Maria, what do you and David think? You're going to lean that way too?
All right, David, before I make you give your pick, you got to talk to me about what Justin is expected to do. Mario Cristobal said you couldn't ask more of his quarterback. He might have to ask more because the O-line's a little bit hurt right now.
Yeah, banged up. I tell you what, the true freshman has stepped in, Sewell at left tackle, and been phenomenal for Oregon this whole season. He's out with a high ankle sprain, so the Oregon offensive line's banged up. And here's the bottom line. We talk about Herbert all the time. Yep. All the time. Minshew very rarely gets talked about. If you watch him, he's got some magic. And it's not just throwing the football. He's got some shoulder fakes, and he's got some swag to him and makes plays.
Sure.
Because of him, in this place, he makes an extra play, and Washington State wins the ball game.
There you have it. David's going with the mustache, Reese.
I think David would look great in a Minshew stash. Pollock goes Washington State. The Bear has said Washington State. And, of course, we are awaiting everybody else to make their picks. I've got a sneaking suspicion our friend Drew Bledsoe will go Washington State. Our buddies at Wheels Up, making sure that Drew can get back to his alma mater and celebrate this day and watch the Cougs take on the Ducks. Here comes Stephen and Jessica Julian from the Coug here in Pullman. Oh, man. They've had hardly any sleep here.
Look at that.
Oh, what do we got here?
I'm glad you guys decided against that ice cream.
Is this the Coug burger? Yeah.
What do we have here?
You can't eat. No way you can eat that.
Okay, just leave me through. This is what we've got coming up top of the hour. You see the 4 games, including, don't miss that game on ESPNU. Cincinnati's undefeated, very tough and improving Temple team in Philadelphia. You see the other ones, Maryland, Iowa, Auburn, Ole Miss follows us, and Oklahoma, TCU on ABC and DirecTV. More for your college football thing, providing fans with a look at Oklahoma new defensive coordinator Ruffin McNeil. He has a long history, worked with Mike Leach back in the Texas Tech days. Former East Carolina head coach, says he wants to simplify things and have his guys play faster and hopefully improve some of these numbers.
Yeah, you see 83rd in the country, and that's a smart thing to do. You take it over in the middle of the season, simplify it, get your guys to see it and play fast, and especially in the Big 12 where offenses move fast.
He says clear mind, fast legs. That's how he wants them to play. Sooners getting ready to take on TCU. Lincoln Riley with Allison Williams.
Coach Riley, following the loss to Texas, you decided to make a change at defensive coordinator, replacing Mike Stoops with Ruffin McNeil. First game since that change, what do you hope to see from your defense?
I'm excited about the way they prepared. Ruffin and the staff have done a great job. I think our guys needed the bye week. We've had 2 good weeks of great work, and excited to see our guys play today.
You come out of the bye week 5-1 halfway through the season. As you start the second half, the final 6 games of the regular season, what's your biggest message to this group?
Well, the fun thing for us is we've done some good things, but we haven't played close to as well as we can as a team. And that's something at Oklahoma we've been able to do as well as anybody in the country over the last several years, is really improve in the back half of the season. That's when we've traditionally played our best ball. And so we've got a big start here today at TCU, but expecting to get it done.
Lincoln, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Allison, Lincoln, thank you very much. Oklahoma might be able to force turnovers. TCU's -9 in that category, 3rd worst in the country.
When you have it switch like this, it's one thing to have coaches. It's another thing, even though he's only a sophomore, Kenneth Murray needs to be a leader. Bolton, these guys that have been around and in this system, they are as key as Ruffin McNeil is to trying to help with this transition in the middle of the year.
And Kirk, I think you're going to see that today too. I think you'll see a new attitude on this defense. I think just a new voice is going to really help motivate these guys today against TCU.
One thing we know about this, we thought all we want about their defense, they're going to score about 45 or 50 today because they've got a lot of athletes. Hollywood Brown can get downfield. The guy that we really don't talk about, CeeDee Lamb, the receiver on the other side of Hollywood Brown, is outstanding. And Sean Robinson's got talent, but he's been banged up and turning the ball over too much.
But too, Gary Patterson's talked about making a quarterback change. Says it's still Sonny Cumbie's call now. It might be his a little bit later on. We've talked about this being the first game since '98 with no Stoops on the sideline for Oklahoma.
Yep.
They haven't lost 2 in a row in the same regular season since Bob's first season. They haven't done it this century, and they're coming off a loss.
I don't think they'll do it today.
No, I don't either.
I don't either.
Just throwing it out there because just when you think it's not going to happen, that's when that fella right there riles them up.
They have not been able to play up to their potential. I'm sure he's trying to get their attention to try to do that this week.
Coca-Cola Zero Sugar counting us down to kickoff in Oxford, Auburn, and Ole Miss, and Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Stidham has thrown a bunch of screen passes, 2nd most in the country. You take those out, he's just completing 52%. He's been off target a lot.
Fair to say, if we got into a mid-season discussion, most disappointing teams and players, Stidham and Auburn would be right in the middle of that. See if they can get it going on the road against Ole Miss. I just wonder if they've quit on the year. I just wonder if they're still invested, they still care. We'll find out today against Ole Miss.
You see Jordan Thomas, but if you can't score against Ole Miss, and you can't score.
It's that simple.
Yeah, you're right about that. I think Ole Miss is going to come out with some energy at home. I kind of like Ole Miss in this ball game.
I do too.
I just want to see the effort from Auburn's team. What type of effort they're going to put forth today?
I think Auburn's going to be down Denson in the first half, if memory serves, with a targeting penalty as well. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar counting us down to kick off Maryland and Iowa. This game on ESPN2. Nate Stanley has been scorching hot.
2nd year as a starter, really in sync, has great tight ends to be able to throw the football to. And last week you saw a National Player of the Year, 6 touchdown passes. And their defense, nobody talks about their defense. Iowa can play defense.
Yeah, I like
it.
Defense.
Really, Phil Parker, defense coordinator, keeps it simple and lets them play within their scheme. They'll make it tough on Maryland today.
Here's Kasim Hill last week against Rutgers, putting up 3 touchdowns. The Terrapins, of course, still waiting about the whole DJ Durkin saga, how that's going to come out. And they still have a winning record. Inside 19 minutes until kickoff now. Hey, there's your old friend, the Duck.
The Duck. Hey. Oh, look at it. Hi, Ducky.
Hey, the Duck.
My beloved Duck.
But now the Cougar. He's trying to snap a 4-game losing streak, and look who's got himself a flag. Go Cougs! A standard bearer for the great Washington State history of quarterback, Drew Bledsoe, our celebrity guest picker, when you come back.
College Gameday is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. And in part by Coke Zero Sugar. And Chevy. Chevy has earned J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs.
I'm just completely overwhelmed by this scene. These folks have been so welcoming. They've shown up. Man, oh man. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, whether the drive is 1 yard or 100. Hard work, determination, and grit that helps you score. Goodyear is more driven. This is a great way to start your college football Saturday. Find your way back home. Find your way to Sports Center tonight at 1 a.m. Eastern Time. SVP will be there. Here's the College Gameday checkdown. Some last-minute notes and nuggets before we get started. Ty Story's out against Tulsa. Keyshawn Vaughn Vaughn, who had to leave the game last week against Florida, will play. And as Desmond mentioned, Gaskin Ahmed supposed to go for the Huskies against Colorado. Time for some Super Dogs.
Hey,
Are you
Desmond.
serious?
Desmond.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Desmond.
If I might quote my mentor, I say nothing.
No, say nothing.
Give us some winners.
That was impressive.
I gotta get a winner of this. I'm going Wake. They're playing Florida State and Tallahassee. Giving up. I think Florida State might win this game. I don't think they'll cover. So I gotta go Wake Forest against Florida State. I need a win desperately at this point. Gee whiz.
I'm gonna go with Tulsa. I got to do something to catch up with Reese. He's in the clubhouse as a winner here.
Yeah.
Arkansas, the starting quarterback's out. This is a rivalry game, believe it or not. Tulsa, I think, has some energy. Could stay within a touchdown. Who knows? After the disappointment where Arkansas almost won a week ago, I think they could be down. I'm gonna hang with Tulsa here. See if they can get it done for me.
I'm going to try to miss the rest of the year. I can't. State is a 7-point underdog at home against Cal. State is only 1-4 or 5, but the home teams won 3 in a row. The Beavers are a big upset, maybe.
Cal's a lot.
Maybe.
Cal's a lot.
Yeah, that does a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Coach, I love that one. I think it's a good pick. I'm going to go with Memphis. They almost nipped UCF last week. I am worried about a little bit of a hangover, but they're getting 9.5 against a Missouri team who had to play Alabama. Maybe a little beat up, a little flat.
A lot beat up.
I'll say Memphis with an opportunity here to get a big win for the American Conference. Take a look at Saturday's selection, brought to you by Chevrolet. Let's see what Drew Bledsoe is shooting for with our celebrity guest pickers, Luke Bryan. Still,
Chainsmokers did all right.
yes, they did.
Pretty strong.
95.
Pretty strong.
That was good. Tim Matheson, Animal House fame, 110. Picked a lot of games that week. And Drew, now you got your work cut out for you. Ready to go with this?
I'm ready to rock.
Here we go. All right, let's get things started. Game you're going to see coming up in just a few minutes on ESPNU. Cincinnati and Temple. Bearcats stay unbeaten?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. I like Cincinnati on the road, though, in a close game, probably by a field goal.
Yeah, I'm with you, Des. I like Cincy in this game on the road. They're going to keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Cincinnati is 20th in the AP poll. They get the upset. Cincinnati upsets them.
I like Russo, quarterback for Temple. I think Temple has a team that, you look at their record, you think they're down. I think Temple can knock off Cincinnati. They've been much better since they made that change of quarterback. Give me Temple.
All right, that game coming up in just a few minutes. So, too, is Oklahoma and TCU. Oklahoma's kind of had their way with TCU lately. How's it go today?
It continues today. We talked a lot about the defensive change now with Ruffin McNeil calling the defense. I think the defense is going to play much better. I like OU in a big one over TCU.
Yeah, again, I agree with you, Des. It's a trend. Oklahoma's going to start acting like Oklahoma. They have a dynamic quarterback, one of the most exciting players in college football, and I think they win this one fairly
Nice
convincingly.
pick. That's a smart pick, boy. Oklahoma wins, but close.
Close. Wow.
I see potential shootout. I think the timing of the bye week after the move of Mike Stoops going out, McNeil coming in, helps their defense. But I still think TCU can score. They got a lot of firepower out on the outside. So Kyler Murray outscores Sean Robinson and TCU. I got OU.
That's 4 OUs on there, man.
Go, dog.
Go.
I don't believe it, so I'm not going to. Auburn and Ole Miss coming up. Auburn's been in the empty elevator shaft.
You know, RD, I don't have a lot of confidence and faith in either team, to be honest with you. I had to flip a coin. Ole Miss at home, so I think Ole Miss in the close one. But I think the Rebels.
Yeah, it's a pick'em game for me too. I'm going Auburn though. I think it'll be a tight ball game, but I'm going Auburn.
That's smart. Good job. War Eagle wins that one. War Eagle.
My concern, I said it earlier about Auburn, is this is a team that had national championship aspirations and they were real. And all of a sudden now look at their record. I don't think they still care. And because of that, I think they go on the road and Ole Miss takes care of business.
Now, Ole Miss could get a 6th win, but they're sitting out a bowl this year. Not going to a bowl, would be eligible. Yeah. Mississippi State and LSU, 7 o'clock on ESPN tonight. Hey, Bulldogs blew out the Tigers last year.
Yeah, I know. Revenge is a factor in this game. But I think at home, I like the Tigers. I like the way they shut down the run last week against Georgia. They're going to have their hands full against the Bulldogs running attack. But I like LSU at home.
I think LSU's for real. Yeah. I really do. I think they're legit, and I think LSU's going to win this game.
The Bulldogs beat them 37-7 last year.
Yeah.
Payback.
Payback. For me, Mississippi State's one-dimensional on offense. They just can't throw the ball well enough on the road in this environment against that defense to win the game. So it's low scoring and it's close, but LSU at home, they're not peeking ahead to Alabama. They get it done.
The winner of the Alabama-Tennessee game, they get victory cigars. Does Butch Jones, is now an Alabama analyst, get a victory cigar with the Crimson Tide?
RD, I don't even know why we're picking this game. Like, this is the game that you pick against the spread.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Alabama wins
29.
this game big. It's 29?
29?
If Tua stays healthy and that trick knee doesn't give him problems, then, they easily cover the spread against Tennessee.
Tua hasn't played in the fourth quarter yet this year, I don't think. So I mean, this is, I'm with you. I don't know why we're picking this one. Bama may get knocked off this year at some point, but it doesn't happen today.
You're picking it because it's down there.
Yeah.
That's why I'm picking it. Alabama has beaten them 5 in a row, making 6 in a row.
Hey, you make it 12.
We went from the chain smokers making picks last week because they played at a cool bar to some analysis. I got a feeling next week we're going to have a new leader in the clubhouse. His name's going to be Drew Bledsoe. Give me Alabama.
Okay, now Kirk's going to make a pick on this next one because he's calling the Ohio State-Purdue game. I want to throw out a warning here.
Go ahead.
Since 2000, Ohio State has a losing road record in one place in the Big Ten. Ross-Ade Stadium.
Grass.
I wish you had told me that before I gave Jimmy G my pick. No, I think Ohio State's going to win this game. It may be closer than the experts think, but I do think the Buckeyes will prevail.
You know, I was going to Ohio State in this game, and then we watched Tyler's story earlier today, and I can't pick against Purdue in this game. Man, I didn't know you were going to make me cry on a Saturday morning. That's what Tom does. Man, I want to see Purdue win this game.
Not so fast, going to make you cry again. 56-0.
Wow.
Ohio State beat Purdue last time they played here.
Oh, okay.
At Purdue, right?
Yes, sir.
Ohio State, much closer. Much grass.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
calling the game. He's waiting. But Tommy over here makes you cry. We don't make
that Tommy is back. He was comedic Tommy for a minute.
Kirk's calling the game in West Lafayette and be on its way there. Also this afternoon on ABC, Penn State's dropped a couple in a row. You have to wonder how heartbroken they are, and they've got to go on the road to Bloomington.
Yeah, they'll bounce back. Indiana, they don't have enough defense to stop Penn State's offense. I like Penn State in probably about a 10-point lead. 10-point victory.
Yeah, I don't think Penn State's played their best football yet, and I think they're bound to, and I think it may start today.
Penn State's won 4 in a row against Indiana. Make it 5 closer.
Yeah, I think
Indiana's sneaking out.
Indiana's getting better, and you wonder about Penn State's mentality, like we were talking about with Auburn, such big goals. Yeah. But I think James Franklin will get them right. I like Penn State there and Trace McSorley.
The greatest unsanctioned trophy in the history of sports: $5 bits of broken chair, Minnesota or Nebraska.
Scott Frost will get his victory today against Minnesota. I got the Cornhuskers.
You know, Dad, I didn't know you were going to read my notes before the show, but I think so too. I mean, Nebraska has to win at some point. Scott Frost done a nice job down there, and I think they're going to get their first win today.
You're reading my notes. You're picking all the games, are you? Nebraska first win.
Man, Nebraska so close. Getting that first win last week, and I thought they were going to head to a bowl, but today they get their first win against Minnesota. By the way, not bad. Minnesota's not bad at all.
No, they're not. They played really well. Okay, Michigan and Michigan State. Some news from Dan Murphy. Rashawn Gary not expected to play. Wow. And this week, of all people, former Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad tweeted that Michigan was going to return to glory. Will they beat Michigan State?
This is going to be a hard-fought ball game. I think Michigan's going to win by 3 points or less. 3-point game.
Yeah, you got to watch out for these rivalry games. I think Michigan's going to win the game, but I think this one's going to come down to the wire.
Michigan State won 4 of the last 5, but no, Michigan offense wins this one.
What's going on with Rashawn Gary? You're starting to wonder, like, how serious is that ankle, and is it serious?
That's shoulder.
Is it serious, or is it just he resting? Who knows? But to me, this is a Michigan team that defensively, obviously, is going to hang around. Michigan State's going to slop around to the fourth quarter, try to find a way to win it late. But I think Shea Patterson finds a big one-on-one matchup downfield and wins the game.
All right, give me a quick one: Virginia and Duke.
Virginia had a big win against Miami last week, but Duke will win today.
Yeah, sorry, Chris Slade. If you're out there, I'm going Duke.
Not so fast and not so fast. And Duke. No. Virginia makes it.
For Chris Slade,
upset.
I'm picking Virginia because Drew let you down. So I'll go with Virginia to knock off Duke.
All right, North Carolina State and Clemson both undefeated. 3:30 Eastern on ABC. Who wins it?
Wow, this is going to be a tough one. I think that Clemson will prevail at home. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to take that step that we've been looking for him to take. So I got Clemson in a close one, though.
Yeah, I think Clemson's going to win the ball game. I'm excited to watch, though. I think it's going to be a really good ball game.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Clemson, but 17 points is too much. Much closer.
But, you know, Bear made a point earlier in the show that it's going to be much larger. He thinks Clemson's going to blow them out. No. NC State has had Clemson's number the last 2 years, came so close 2 years ago to beating them in Death Valley. I think it'll be close, but I think, again, Clemson's defensive pressure getting after Finley's the difference.
Game's on ESPN. I might have said ABC, but you can always see it streaming live on the app. Okay, give me a quick one here also in the Pac-12, SC and Utah. Tough place to play.
I'm going to go with Utah. Utah's defense has been playing very well. I'm going to go Utah.
Yeah, Cougs have played both teams. I've seen them both, but I think Utah's going to win the game.
Utah's number one in defense. Utah.
Man, I almost want to change my graphic here to USC. I'm going to go to USC. I'm going to go to USC just for the fans.
Yeah.
On the road. JT Daniels.
Yeah,
I think SC gets it done.
Guy.
Yes.
If you really, there we go. Get the Trojan. If you really want to get booed, pick this one a certain way. Colorado, Washington.
Washington comes into this game. A lot of injuries. Guys beat up. They're going to go, but they're going to be beat up. So I'm going with Colorado. Got the Bucks.
Good pick.
What do you think?
I think the Bucks are going to win this game. And I actually do think the Bucks can win this game at Washington. It's going to be a good one.
Washington is one of my favorite teams.
Wow.
Washington.
I'm going with you. I'm going Washington. Colorado's banged up at wide receiver. Chenault, Gimpy. Give me Washington again for the great fans.
You're not a getter.
And now the game everybody here is waiting on. They declared a state of emergency in Pullman to use city vehicles to get them here. There's been a run on couches at local thrift stores, and they're just waiting to light them up if they can roast the Ducks tonight.
It's something special, you know, those night games in Martin Stadium.
Pullman's a crazy place to play, and we really look forward to putting on a good show.
Our goal in the beginning of the year was to win the Pac-12. This game obviously has huge implications for that.
It means everything, really. Chasing the Pac-12 championship, we got to be relentless. Either they're going to rush the field on us, or we can rush the field on them. The stars come out when the lights come on.
We beat them the last 3 times, and we want to beat them this time.
I've never been able to beat Washington State in my years being here, so it's definitely going to be a Mamba mentality.
Couple of once-beaten teams in the Pac-12 North. Is it going to be Wazoo or the Ducks?
I tell you what, Justin Herbert, I think is the best quarterback west of the Mississippi. He's going to be the #1 draft pick. I love Oregon's offense, but Corso showed a tape of Washington State's defense. Yes. They're going to make a play late in the game, and I got the Cougars.
Herbie?
15 years to come out here and enjoy this crowd and enjoy this scene. This has been, I've been on the show 23 years. This has been one of the best scenes I've ever seen on the show. With that being said, Oregon. I learned from him.
Jordan, what have you got?
I hope the security's good, buddy. I hope the security's good, man. Hey, look, first, thank you guys so much for making the trip. Yeah. I actually brought you guys a little gift. I couldn't bring it up here. They wouldn't let me. I even brought one for you, Des, even though you ruined my Super Bowl.
Hey, I wasn't going to bring that up. I haven't seen you since 97, but you're looking good.
Hey, but look, this is going to be an exciting game. You've got 2 great offenses. The big surprise, I think, on both sides is how well both teams are playing on defense. Yeah. But I think you're going to see a shootout. It's going to be a high-scoring ball game, and, of course, the Cougs are going to win at the end.
There you go. All right.
Okay.
It's a big moment
we've all been waiting for.
Big moment.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been doing game day for 32 years. I put on 56 different mascot heads. And I've come from Orlando, Florida, 2,852 miles to get here. And let me tell you something. It would take something special for me to pick against my beloved Ducks. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a special place and a special time. Give me that duck head.
Uh-oh. Oh, he's not going to throw it, is he? Oh. We don't have